Did you know that most people wait 26 days to see an OBGYN? If you're dealing with a vaginal infection, herpes outbreak, or STI symptoms, you already know that's too long to wait. At HelloWisp.com, you can get a prescription in as little as 3 hours. Contact a doctor online and have the care you need delivered discreetly to your home for free in all 50 states. Or sent to your local pharmacy for pickup same day. Use code HEART, HEART, on your order for 15% off, only at HelloWisp.com. That's HelloWisp.com.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough, and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. If they don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm. Justice for you.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to Season 18, Episode number 4015. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and my cock. And you are the Men's Room. I'll tell you today the return of Who Sucks Less. We will play Profile This. Plus headlines, the Men's Room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Tate.
Clack, clack.
Drink, anti-drunk. All right, here we go to Portland, Oregon, where a masked man with a knife ends up getting stabbed himself. Meanwhile, a woman is arrested at a shop with a cop night for trying to steal items from a shelf. DC robbers steal a man's phone, realize it's an Android, and then give it back. A woman who threw food at a worker will now get to experience that same flack. And one Kentucky family's Christmas turns out to be quite the hoot. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, a woman was just sentenced to 15 months in prison. Why? Well, when a Southwest Airlines flight attendant asked her to buckle her seatbelt and stow her tray table for landing, as every passenger on every flight is asked, the woman responded by punching the flight attendant in the face, and the punch did damage. Anyway, she now gets 15 months to think about her overreaction. Then a different woman, she was sentenced to 180 days in jail. Well, what did she do? Well, she too went for the face, but not with her fist. No, she hit a Chipotle manager in the face with a burrito bowl because her order was wrong. So yeah, she got 180 days, but her sentence was actually reduced to 60 days if she agreed to work part-time at a fast food restaurant. Frankly, I think I'd take the 180 days. And then there's the Florida woman who's facing felony battery charge after she hit her boyfriend in the eye with an avocado. Now, not every shot to the face happens here in the lower United States. Let's head north of the border to Canada, where a cop was punched in the face. Now, what makes this story funny is that the suspect was an escaped kangaroo. You see, the roo had been on the lam for a few days, and when the cop tried to corral it, well, the kangaroo hit him with a straight left. Now, what happens to a kangaroo after it assaults an officer? Well, I'm glad you asked. In this case, the kangaroo was made an honorary member of the canine unit. I'm not joking. That is true. But today, we're talking about faces. You know, the front of your head. And not whether or not you're ugly or if you're good looking. We know you're ugly. Let's not even go down the road. But the fact that other than your groin/crotch, your face seems to be the place of impact for whatever reason. If something hits you, somehow it hits you in the face. Fabio, he's on a roller coaster years ago. He gets hit by a bird in the face. It's just how things work. So today's question is simply, what hit who in the face?
To be a part of the big show, call 206-803-ROCK. You can like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
Let's be honest, preventing pregnancy is a pain. Whether you're picking birth control up every month or running to grab Plan B, it costs too much time, money, and effort. All while your partner gets to go about their day uninterrupted. WISP is changing the game. At hellowisp.com, you can get the reproductive care you need without stepping foot in a doctor's office or waiting in line. Have birth control delivered on your schedule and get emergency contraceptive before you need it. Use code CARE, C-A-R-E, at hellowisp.com for 15% off your first order. That's hello-wisp.com and have it delivered for free.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
Want a little more pleasure in your life? Make 2024 your year to experience more pleasure than you thought possible. Lovers has the best adult toys, lingerie, and accessories to explore alone or together. Let our associates guide you on your pleasure journey and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until January 31st. Some exclusions apply.
O'Reilly. Need a little help? O'Reilly Auto Parts can help. Need advice? We've got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
All the Charles, away we go. Welcome to Season 18, Episode 4015. Thank you for joining us on this large and in charge Wednesday. What a beautiful day.
Another beautiful day, man.
Guaranteed future repeat coming up today. The exciting return of Who Sucks Less. Steve Throw Hill, I don't know how you do it. You'll find people in the news doing bad things. We take three stories and pit them up against each other to figure out the three stories, which one sucks the least. How brutal are we looking this week on Who Sucks Less?
These are not particularly brutal, but I think there is one non-word to describe all three stories, and that would be you.
You?
You. Yeah. That's it. That is the connection to all of these. People making disturbing decisions with what to do with themselves.
Who Sucks Less on the way, and of course, lucky you every Monday through Friday. What do you get but more Men's Room? You say, hey, 4 hours, we want more. And that's what you get with the Men's Room Happy Hour, episode number 508. We'll do some picks, some pretty good games coming up this weekend in the NFL. So episode number 508 on the way. If you don't have the Odyssey app, download it now. It is absolutely free. Search for the Men's Room. You're going to find all things Men's Room there, including the daily podcast. If you check out yesterday's show, we got a chance to sit down with Duff McKagan in studio. So that interview is there, as well as all of our weekly podcasts for you. And we have a best of weekly podcast. We've got a radio channel where we get to put together basically our own music station.
Yep. Once again, yes, that reminds me.
That's right.
We need to do 50 songs for Mike.
I will try to get on that tonight a little bit. I'll start the process of putting that together.
I would gladly do it. I just don't remember.
That's
I'll remember
correct.
Once every 24 hours, and it's right around that.
Yeah, so we'll get on that. We'll have actually a brand new selection of music coming up in the upcoming year for you.
In the upcoming year. There you go.
Well, we're going to get in.
Yeah.
We're going to put the wheels in motion. A lot of people take the week off or 2 weeks off over the holidays. So depending on the people that are there, hopefully we'll get that channel up and running with some new tunes. Right now, it's just fine as it is. There's a great mixture of music on there, by the way. And speaking of Odyssey and Duff McKagan's brand new podcast entitled Lighthouse is there as well. Exclusively on Odyssey. That's the only place you're going to find that. Produced by our very own Ryan Castle, by the way.
Oh, was it?
Hosted by Jerry Cantrell.
Right.
Guests include Slash and Iggy Pop. So it's basically a little discussion on the making of not only the album, but what Duff has been up to. Just life talks with Jerry. They've been lifelong friends for forever. So that podcast is there.
Talks with Duff.
As well on the Odyssey app. But we'll see you coming up here at 6 o'clock for the Men's Room Happy Hour. What else do we have for you today? Holy Holy cow, it's too much show. Your chance to win tickets to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Now, here's what they told us. They're coming to the Gorge May 31st, and they said, hey, you guys pick a time and then give a secret word. And then when you hear the secret word, you text that word to 206-803-ROCK. We've determined today the time will be 4:20.
That's thinking. I like that.
We'll give you the secret word coming up at 4:20, and when you hear that word, text it to 206-803-ROCK.
Are you calling your shot today? Do you believe that you will remember?
I said 4 out of 5. Right now, I'm 1-1.
That you are 1-1. That's correct.
I'm 1-1.
You failed me, Miles.
I know I did. I apologize for that.
Oh, that's right. You said all 5 days.
Well, Duff was in. I mean, like I was trying to do all.
Okay.
You called your shot. You got cocky.
Yeah.
Well, just say what it is.
Blame Duff.
Stupid. Me.
Yeah. Blames Duff.
Right.
Yeah.
Of all the freaking
so much
things.
stuff going on,
I've heard you blame a lot of
icon.
stuff.
I'm blaming
but
Duff
the
McKagan.
blame Duff McKagan.
I mean, come on, man.
That's low.
That is real low, dude.
You loved him growing up.
I know. Look what happened. He just turned
It's
on.
not my fault.
It's Duff's fault.
It's not my fault. I mean, he's here. It's a big deal. I get distracted. What can I tell you? But today I won't get distracted. Oh, no. I'll give you that time coming up before.
Bring in the strippers.
And thank you guys for always reminding me. I really appreciate that. I know you guys.
Yeah, the three of us knew, but look, man. I bet $1. I'm like, I'm not saying anything.
All right.
That's the biggest way you should know.
Right.
Is that if you start reading emails and the three of us are grinning ear to ear, you missed
it. One more thing. We need to ask you guys to do some good as we're counting down the days until the end of Coats for Kids with the Washington State Firefighter Council of Firefighters. And the goal is there's 300,000 kids in Washington State who live in poverty. Now, a lot of them obviously don't have a lot of things that they need, but Coats is a big deal, especially this time of the year. So the idea is that we want to put Coats, brand new Coats, made in the USA, on 2,500 kids.
Mm-hmm.
The coats cost $20 to make. If you can go to KISW.com, if you can give $20, that is awesome. Give what you can, please. We're going to try to put more coats on kids than we ever have before. So 25 is the ideal number, but if we can get enough money to put more coats on kids, that's the idea.
Why don't we try to get Duff back in there, and he could do a coat sponsorship? It'd be Vest for Kids.
Vest for Kids. It'd be like a North Face thing, like the tech pros wear.
Oh, I'm not going to get you sleeves, man.
Yeah,
but
sleeveless coats. No, these kids need coats. You know what I mean?
Let's get him a puffy vest and a cup of coffee and a demeaning attitude.
Sure. Well, it's got to be a North Face. It's got to be North Face then.
Yeah, I think it does.
See, these coats are made in the USA. I don't know where the hell North Face is made, but these coats are made right here in the United States of America. So if you're doing some shopping or whatever, you have 20 extra bucks to throw in the hat, please do. KISW.com. The goal, again, is to get enough coats for 2,500 kids. So please go now and donate what you can. Okay, today on the question, as we get to that, what hit who in the face? We'll start with this story out of Ohio. And they say, does this count as being sentenced to hard labor? Now, back in September, we brought you this story. A 39-year-old woman near Cleveland, her name is Rosemary Hain. She got arrested for throwing a burrito bowl at a Chipotle worker. I'm assuming that this is all of the ingredients of a burrito without the without the tortilla, so to speak.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay. I've never been to Chipotle. She did not.
You've never been to a Chipotle?
No.
Jeez.
I've never been to one. We've had some stuff catered by them here, but I've never
been to one
physically. No.
Huh. All right.
Yeah, no, I really have.
No,
Look,
I
and to be
know
honest
what's on
with
the
you,
menu.
I want to say 80% of the time they cater anything in this office to
tacos.
Chipotle. So I've eaten a lot of Chipotle, and I like it. I've just never physically.
That was normally
been in.
Qdoba.
It is. Yeah, we get a lot of Qdoba
But
here.
do they have tacos and stuff?
Chipotle does have tacos and quesadillas, I think. I don't know.
Okay,
I've only ever gotten a burrito or a burrito bowl.
Gotcha. Well,
But Chipotle's great.
This is what this woman ordered.
And if it's from Qdoba, then no, I've not had Chipotle.
She got a burrito bowl. Now, she did not think it was made well enough or something, whatever the deal was. She started yelling at the poor girl, and then she threw the burrito bowl in her face.
Well, wait. Now, keep in mind, she was yelling at the cashier. The cashier was a 17-year-old girl.
Yes.
The manager stepped in, right, to handle and try to calm this woman down. So the manager ended up getting the bowl to the face.
Yeah. Well, she ended up getting thrown in jail for assault. Footage of it went viral a few days later. Now the story's in the news again after she just got sentenced last week. And her judge, to the credit, her judge decided to get creative with her sentencing. His name is Timothy Gilligan. He gave her 180 days in jail, but suspended 90 of those days, and he offered her a way to lop off another 60 if she wanted to. She could avoid 2 months of jail time if she agreed to get a job working at a fast food place to see what it's like. She has to work there part-time, 20 hours a week, for at least 2 months. She agreed to it and said she'd start looking for job openings. The employee she hit with the burrito bowl is Emily Russell. And she said it was so traumatizing that she actually left the job at Chipotle, but has a new gig now. She told a reporter she was happy with the judge's sentence. But yes.
Here's the thing about that story, though. So, one, the manager who left, she left Chipotle. She said it was traumatizing. You know what her new gig is? She's at another fast food place. Like, look, the people aren't going to be any different, so know that. That's
right.
One. Yep. Two, she has to work, 20 hours a week for 2 months. But I would put the caveat on there that, no, you need to work the register. Because if you're working at the cook, you're not dealing with people.
Well, or you work the drive-through window.
Yeah, one of the two where you're communicating with the customers.
People.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Exactly. Now we go to Canada, which is a weird place for the story to happen. But
by the way, Miles, people are calling us weirdos because we've never been to Chipotle. I've never been to Chipotle.
You know what the weird thing about where I live, there are just not a lot of chain places. I tend to stay in my neighborhood. So I could go down to Soto, and there's no Chipotle down there. There's a Denny's and a couple other things, but for the most part, in the area that I'm in,
Chipotle's not a drive-through.
I need to go to Northgate or someplace up in that area. Probably.
Is there a Chipotle in Northgate?
There is.
Really?
Yeah.
Because there's a Mexican place like 2 blocks away from my home. So if we want Mexican, we go there. Like all the things that I want to eat are covered, and Ted, the general area. A lot of them are not chains, but I didn't even realize Chipotle was there.
Yeah, it's still in the mall, right? Because there's still the Borders in there and that.
Right.
Also, I don't know how to explain it. And Mike, I know likes Chipotle. It's if I want a burrito from Chipotle or Chipotle bowl, somehow that's different. Like if I want to get Mexican, I'll go sit down in a restaurant.
Correct.
Okay,
but when I lived in Baltimore, Chipotle had just opened in the town I grew up in, College Park, but that's still 45 minutes from Baltimore. I knew people they would drive down to College Park just to get
Chipotle.
Yeah, because they cook everything fresh.
It goes down kind of like one of the burritos that you'll get across the street here.
Okay,
kind of the same.
What was the Baja place?
Baja Fresh.
Baja Fresh. I used to like that place early on, but they kind of disappeared. I haven't seen one.
I don't know if they're out here.
There was one in Fremont for a while when I moved down there. I don't know what the hell happened to it. It's like everything else. McDonald's is one of the most populated restaurant chains in North America, period. And there was a McDonald's down here on Westlake. They closed that. There was a McDonald's over by the Experience Music Museum. They closed that one.
Is the one on 3rd Avenue still open?
That's the one that's still open.
Jesus,
and you know me.
That's the one you kept open.
I'm a McDonald's apologist.
No one goes in there to buy burgers. That's where drug deals happen.
There's one down in Soto, but you got to drive down there. I'm just saying, as far as those type of restaurants go, there's not a lot of them downtown.
Ted, just so you know, the Chipotle and Bonnie Lake has drive-through if you pre-order on the app.
Correct.
And someone here says, I've never been to Chipotle either. Got one a mile from my house. Well, Northgate's probably less than a mile from my house. I go to Borders, and even if it's next to the bar, I have not been in.
Go, dude. I recommend
Really? You really recommend it?
Yes, I
What
do.
else do they have besides
I'm a
burritos
Taco Bell
bowls?
guy, man. I got
So this is not Taco Bell.
Okay.
No, I know that, but I'm saying I only hear about the burritos and burrito bowls.
That's the main thing. They also have tacos if you want to do that. They have hard shell tacos. They got soft shell tacos, and that's really what it is. It's a taco bar, basically, is what it is.
I haven't had a hard shell taco in a long time.
I like hard shell tacos.
I will say
don't mind them.
I often get the burrito bowl because the other thing is too, man. They fill their burritos up almost to the point of
okay, I've heard you
I
say
don't
that.
know how they roll them. They're hard to eat, so I almost always will get a bowl
Because all the crap's going to fall out of it anyway, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. This is
They look like they have Baja-style tacos.
this is like the Jersey Mike's of burritos.
Okay.
All right.
I'm down with it. I like Jersey Mike's.
Yeah, I do too. Okay.
I've been there plenty of times. About half a mile away from my place. That is one chain we do go to often. Jersey.
Another one.
Kids are happy. We're happy.
How's the cheesesteak there?
It wasn't bad. I mean, look, we're East Coasters, so we're very snobby about it. I openly admit that. But it's not bad. It's not bad. It is Jersey Mike's, so they put some effort in.
We head to Canada. Police officers east of Toronto dealt with a situation on Monday that their training probably never covered: an escaped kangaroo. Now, the animal hopped over its handlers and escaped late last week during what was supposed to be a brief stop at the Oshawa Zoo on their way to Quebec. Now, the staff sergeant of the Durham Regional Police Service says the kangaroo was spotted in a rural area early Monday, and an officer was then punched in the face while trying to recapture it. It's something that he and his platoon mates will be remembering, they said, quote, for the rest of their careers. The officers contacted the kangaroo's handlers, and on their advice, they actually just grabbed it by the tail.
That's it.
Videos of the kangaroo running down rural roads were shared on social media the day after it escaped, but search parties were unable to track it down amid the bad weather over the weekend. So officials say the kangaroo, he's in good shape. He'll stay at the Oshawa Zoo until it is fully recovered. The officer punched by the kangaroo was not injured, and the force apparently doesn't have any hard feelings, the police officer. He has said that he has now been made an honorary member of the K-9 unit. Police released body camera footage of the kangaroo encounter. The entire incident was not recorded currently. Officials are not required to activate their cameras for interactions with kangaroos. According to police, the camera recording of the kangaroo was triggered when she nudged one of the responding officers. So there's some footage of that, and they can pull it up someplace. But punched in the face by a kangaroo while living in Canada.
I don't like the fact that they made an honorary member of the K-9 unit. You know, very few things can assault a police officer and not be in trouble for it. They're like, that was too funny.
See if they hire you. Yeah, throw you in jail. I told you, my dad once on R&R from Vietnam was in Australia. He got in a boxing match with a kangaroo. He said that kangaroo whooped his butt.
Oh, yeah. I can believe that, man. Like, that's the first line of defense.
Yeah.
Or they get you in a chokehold.
I like also, it's wild. It's the late 60s. Get drunk and fight a kangaroo.
Fight a kangaroo. Yeah. Regarding Chipotle, somebody here says Chipotle destroys Qdoba. No contest. They also add Chipotle.
I like Qdoba.
I do too. Their quesadillas are good too, but only available if you order online.
See, I don't need to jump through hoops to buy your food. That's one thing I really can't stand about all those promotions.
And then I like this.
Oh, buying online. Yeah.
It says on South Park, Billy Mays sells Chipotle Way.
Chipotle Way, yeah.
Chipotle Way. To get the blood stains out of your underwear after eating there.
Well, they had a little bit of a bad run there, right?
The E. coli thing that went around.
Something, and to their credit, like they make everything fresh, so I think that's how it was getting in there.
Sure,
but yeah, that wasn't great for the ads. And then also, we all do it, but I guess maybe because of the beans. I don't know why we always blame Mexican food.
It's just the beans.
It is, my stomach probably gets more upset if I eat Italian food with a lot of cheese on it than it does from eating Mexican food.
If I eat Alfredo, dude, I always forget that it's just nothing but cream, in spite of the fact that it's Alfredo. And I mean, I love the taste of it. I will eat the bowl of it, and then within 15 minutes, I'm like, I have diarrhea.
I made beans on Monday night, 4 different kinds of beans, and I put in there. I was fine.
Were you?
Yeah. Beans don't, I had black beans, and pinto beans, and baked beans, and Bush's beans.
I feel like pinto beans, those are the super gas chargers right there.
And I like pinto beans.
Of course you do. But really, no offense.
Chili beans, yeah. Our question, what hit who in the face? 206-803-ROCK.
I'm Glennon Doyle, author of Untamed and host of the podcast We Can Do Hard Things. On We Can Do Hard Things, my wife Abby, my sister Amanda, and I talk honestly about the hard parts of life. Join us and guests like Michelle Obama, Tracy Ellis Ross, and Brene Brown as we have refreshingly honest conversations. New episodes are out every Tuesday and Thursday, so listen to and follow We Can Do Hard Things, an Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app and everywhere you get your podcasts.
Shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Red Hot Chili Pepper tickets coming up. Give me the secret word at 4:20. In the meantime, our question, what hit who in the face? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Daniel. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola! How are we doing today?
Hola!
Awesome. So, what hit me in the face was a windowsill.
Did it hit you in the face, or did your face hit it?
I think it was a combination of both. So it was Halloween night, and I was 5 years old. My family had gotten back from trick-or-treating, but my young little butt just wanted to watch more people go about their stuff. So I was sitting up on our couch, and one thing led to another, and I went head over heels, and my face met the windowsill.
What kind of damage did it do?
Oh, it did enough damage that my mom told me to tell other people that you should have seen the other guy. There was a massive shiner on my right side. And let's just say the Christmas photos for that year were fun.
Okay. She still went through with the photos, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mom was all about that stuff.
Yeah. And I don't know why, because you were fine and everything. But the idea of seeing a 5-year-old walk around with a shiner is kind of funny.
Mm-hmm. Like, what the hell did you get into, man?
Yeah, what do you got, like a little kid fighting
Fight
league?
club.
Yeah.
Now, that would be fun. 5-year-old fight club?
Oh, it's happened.
Well, remember that daycare was doing it. They got, rightfully so, they got in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they were running a fight club at the daycare with the kids. You don't remember this, Mike? It's like 2 or 3 years ago.
That's not cool, but geez,
like 3 or 4 years ago, I want to say the story came out.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, are you serious? And I guess they've been doing it for a while. You know, the fight club and then the quote-unquote teachers there.
Well, give like pool noodles or something, you know?
I mean, at least that's fun. I know when my kid was, he's in daycare, and I get a call or an email from the daycare saying, hey, your son was involved in a little thing that went down. So I'm like, Jesus Christ. So we go there to pick him up, and they explained that one of the other kids at the daycare was messing with a little girl at the daycare to the point that she started crying. And the teachers had asked him to stop. He just wouldn't. And then my son had asked him to stop. He just wouldn't. So when they went outside to play, and I don't know if he grabbed the ankles or the hands, but he and one of his buddies grabbed this kid by ankles and wrists, swung him back and forth, and threw his ass over the fence off the property.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So I'm trying not to smile when I hear this because I want to say he was either 3 or 4. You know what I mean? And he's looking all sullen in the corner because he kind of knows he's in trouble. And so then he gets up, kind of walks out of the room. Teacher stops him and he goes, that little son of a bitch deserved it. The kid that they threw over the fence.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She was like, look, he did the right thing, but still maybe talk to
Probably didn't mess with that little girl anymore.
He did not. He did not.
What hit who in the face? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Parker. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello?
Hola.
Oh, sorry. You guys cut out ready to shoot me in.
Of course we did.
So, this happened a few years ago. I was at the Oak Harbor Music Festival with my parents, and we went into this bar, and it was super packed. So after waiting for a while, my mom finally got up to the bar to get a drink. There's this guy there just hanging out, not ordering anything, taking up the space. So my mom leaned over to him and said, hey, if you're not going to order anything, maybe you can move so other people can, fill out the order. And he tells her to screw off, something like that. Well, then I get up there to buy a drink, and he's right next to me. He leans over to me and says, hey, man, that lady can S a D. And I go, yeah, well, that lady's my mom. And he goes, oh, well, then that lady can S your D. And I just, as soon as the words left his mouth, I just punched him right in the face. There was, no second thought or anything. It never happened to me before where I just called off and did something else.
Did you mess him up pretty good?
I gave him a good hard punch in the nose, and he fell over, and then I got dragged out by the bouncer immediately by my neck.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way it goes, man.
Yeah.
But
Even you can explain yourself, but you can't punch somebody in the face of the bar.
that's the thing. It's like, and even the bouncer
deserve
will tell you, we don't disagree with you, but you still have to leave.
And he does too.
Yeah, that guy will probably be
he's got to leave as well.
Why would you say that? Most people would say, hey, dude, that's my mother. You go, my apologies. You know what I mean? My bad.
Why would it matter to scoot over a little bit? So what? Just scoot over for a second. Let somebody order a beer.
I mean, hell, I remember when I used to go hang out at the place, the Dirt Church, the Meyerhoff, the Lyric Opera House was kind of like 2 blocks away, right? So my mother, around Christmas time, she would go watch all those performances. My father never wanted to go, so he didn't. She knew the bar I went to, so she said, hey, I'll meet you there. So I met her there maybe 20 minutes after she got there. I find her, she gives me a hug, and she says, hey, and she points at that dude Willis, right, the heroin guy at the time. He was hitting on me something hard. Like, I guess he rolled over like, hey, mama, I'll see you in this place. He's like laying down all these lines, and she's like, well, I'm Steve's mom. And he's like, oh, man, my apologies, blah, blah, blah. She's like, look, I don't care. I just wanted to let you know so that nothing bad happens. So when I see Willis, right, he's like, man, I didn't know it was your mom. I'm like, dude, you made her night. I'm like, I don't care. I would only care if she said, yeah, let's go home.
It'd be better if you're better.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't care that you hit on my mom. My mom thinks it's funny. I think it's funny because, brother, you got no chance. Have you licked at yourself? You know what
I will say, I don't know this person. I never know, but in his defense, the stories of that bar, he just had to be pumped. There was a random woman in there,
bro.
Because it sounds like it was the same people, and I know those bars. So
it's kind of like our watering hole, right? Yeah. So you recognize the same people all the time, and a few different people come in here and there. But you're right. At this point, she's all dolled up because she's going to go see her play or whatever the hell she went to see. So she's looking as good as she's going to look. And Willis, he went for it, man. So I said, bro, I harbor absolutely no aggression towards you for this. I find it kind of comical that this little scrawny ass, grease stained heroin addict, and I love the guy, but as an apt description, was hitting on my mother. And she also found it funny because you look the way you look.
I mean, look, I've done it to people's girlfriends. Same thing. When the dude shows back, it's like, that is my girlfriend. It's like,
my bad.
Did not realize.
My
that.
problem is when you like I've had a just friendly conversation between myself and the person beside me.
Sure,
woman sitting down, and I'm with a couple friends anyway. She just gets brought into the conversation, and now she continues to talk into the conversation, that's perfectly fine. And then her boyfriend walked in and just gave us the death stare. And this was a dude who looked like all he did was wrestle.
Right.
His entire life. Like, he just had that look, man. He had the jawline. He had the ears. He had the bump on the nose.
The lack of neck.
He had the shaved head. He had,
so Brock Lesnar, essentially.
A smaller version of Brock Lesnar. Or his daughter. Either one. I mean, either one could kick your ass. But my God. I was like, please don't kill me. She's just being friendly.
She's just being friendly.
That's it. And he kept looking over at me, and I'm just like, what do you want me to say?
People are weird about that, man. It was like a month ago, we're at the bar, and some dude's talking to my wife, and I don't care, and I'm not sweating it, right? But I went out to smoke. Then he walks out and he goes, "Oh man, I'm sorry. I just found out that was your wife." I said, "Yeah. Are you sorry that I'm married to her?" He's like, "No, man. I was talking to her." I said, "Brother, I don't care.
No,
I don't care."
Again.
Jesus Christ. People talk, man. I said, I will be upset if she gets home and goes home with you, but it seems like you guys are just talking.
Sure.
Knock yourself the F
like anything else. The problem is, if no one hits on your significant other, then you need to reevaluate.
And I can think of a few people.
From a personality standpoint, from all kinds of different standpoints. If that's not if you can't do it, if you're not friendly, if you're not nice and all these things.
Or ugly.
And no one's hitting on you, correct, then, hey.
But you can't know that someone's mean until after you've tried to hit on them. If they just don't hit on them, they're ugly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that, right?
I got to.
And there's a difference. Trust me. As somebody who generally dates people better looking than I am, like I don't know how to explain it. You can tell when somebody's being friendly to your girlfriend,
absolutely,
or absolutely hitting on her, especially in front of you. It's like, all right, dude, like enough,
right? Mm-hmm. That's fair.
What hit who in the face? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Adam. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
So, in the Las Vegas area when I was in the Air Force, and my girlfriend worked at a tattoo parlor right outside of the base. I went there and hung out when I was off duty, and I brought a riot shield helmet, a riot gear helmet that I had. And I had one of them. I used to punch myself in the face with it. I said, take that bat and hit me as hard as you can in the face. The problem was I didn't have the chin strap on, and I now know the importance of the chin strap. So the whole shield smashed into my face. I guess it was tight enough it didn't go too far back. My whole face went numb. Luckily, no bloody nose, but, eyes watery. Could not see the whole thing.
You think you got a concussion?
No, my neck whipped back a little bit, but like I said, it actually worked pretty good, but it really smashed the whole shield. My nose numb. I was surprised I wasn't gushing blood. It was pretty funny, actually.
That is kind of funny. I have a cool picture and all that gear too, but I can't post it.
Why not?
Because I'm not supposed to be in it.
So how did you?
Is it police riot gear or is it army or military riot gear?
It was a police one. We do special events on base where we drink a lot of booze and use water guns and stuff. We do a lot of crazy stuff. So I bought that helmet for that because one of the hydraulics teams was going to be making a pneumatic cannon and shooting water. And so I prepared this year, and I went to buy some, not military, but police-style gear. So I got a riot gear helmet, and I was testing it out.
Yeah, chin strap, brother. Very, very important.
I also used to have a official Maryland State Police hat.
How did you get your hands on that?
I knew a state trooper. And then, I had it for a while. It was awesome. I used to wear it all the time at parties. And then 5 years later, he retired and he hit me up. He's like, I need that back. And I said, why? Or I was like, what's up? And he's like, yeah, I didn't realize when I retired, they were like, that's official state police gear.
Oh, you got to give it back.
He's like, they want it. I need to turn that back in. I was like,
really?
Yeah, because he had just got an extra. He had kind of, messed the rules a little bit and got an extra one. But he was like, somebody looked at the paperwork I need that hat back.
Yeah, didn't you say your brother had a mailman bag or something?
Oh, yeah, my brother gets back from college. He's graduated from college at this point, and one of the things that he'd put his laundry in, blah, 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 was one of those white canvas mail bags, but it says, U.S. Post Office. Never gave it a thought. He left it for me, and then When I moved out of the parents' house, the same thing, man. It became my laundry bag. It was very durable, very convenient. I had no idea that I was violating a federal law, right? Because if it's post office property, and once they stamp their name on it, it is their property forever. So at this point, I've had this bag maybe 12 years. It's half faded. It reeks of me and cigarette smoke, and an actual mailman sees me with this. Says, "Where'd you get that bag?" I got it from my brother, man. He had it in college, whatever. And the guy was cool about it, but he goes, "Look, do yourself a favor. Give me the bag." I'm like, "What?" It was like a weird mugging, kind of. Like the politest mugging you've ever been a part of. But you can tell this guy was serious. And he goes, "Look, you can get into a lot of trouble." And again, I'm still not tracking. I'm like, "In trouble for what?" And he explained everything I just said. Like, dude, if it's post office property, it is federal property. And I understand and believe your story, but if a cop decided he's having a bad day or something like that, he's like, you could face like serious time. I'm like, here's the bag, dude. I mean,
yeah.
I had no idea. And I carry that thing openly and publicly all the time. It was a great bag.
Mm-hmm. That's what my mom told me about my grandfather's. He had it looks like a gray safari hat. It's like it's like a mailman, right? Yeah. And when he retired, he kept his shirt, he kept his bag, he kept that hat. He had a couple other hats, and I just wanted that hat because I thought it was a cool hat. She's like, I'm not giving you any of this until
really
until I pass on, and then you figure out what to do with it. So all you can basically do is store it, I guess.
But what if? Yeah. Okay, so say in that case, your grandfather works for the post office forever. Retires from there, he dies, he leaves you this stuff. Like, is it okay to have it if it's...
Well, okay, for an example, last time I was there, I found his official U.S. mail pedometer.
Okay.
So he would clip that to his belt so he knew how many steps he had every day. So I guess I was... All right. But I can't take that either.
It's post office.
It's stamped with the United States Post Office seal on the back.
Damn.
It looks like a pocket watch, but you just clip it on there, tick, 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 tick.
And you seriously could not carry that around?
Nope.
That is amazing. I mean, like if you honestly
that'd be pretty hard
to
see, though. Like the bag.
Yeah, exactly.
But if he pulled it out of the bar and the guy goes, "Look, I'm an off-duty cop, man. You can't have that." Like, oh my God,
how'd you get arrested? What hit who in the face? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Matt. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So I had a bird hit me in the face.
A bird.
A bird. I was going grocery shopping, driving down 167, and there was a guy who kind of road raging with me, and I thought he threw something in my car because something blasted me in the side of the face on the passenger side. And I look over, he's not there anymore, and I'm like, what the hell? And there's stuff flying all over the car. And I look down, there's a bird sitting on my lap.
Was the bird alive?
No, it was dead. But, I mean, and the messed up thing about it is the next underpass I went under, there was a sign that says, Jesus loves you. And I'm just like, that. It's kind of a funny way of showing it, but I mean, it ended up giving me I got a black eye, my cheek was swollen. I was probably doing about 65 when it hit me in the face.
Did people believe you when you explained why your face looked the way it looked? Because again, I would just assume you're in a fight.
Well, luckily, my fake, and I'm like, no, I go, really, a bird flew in the passenger window and hit me in the face.
Not that you're one of those guys, but could you identify the species of bird?
No, I'm not quite sure. It was a little brown bird.
All right, so it wasn't the biggest thing in the world.
And that thing was dead in your lap.
Yep. Well, that's not even the first bird that flew in my window. I actually had a blue heron flying when I was driving on 18.
A blue heron?
Yeah.
That's not a small bird,
huge, man.
And I drove a little RX-7 at the time, so he was pinned against the window, and his wing went almost all the way across my windshield when I was trying to drive.
I guess he didn't make it either.
No, he did. He flew off. He hit me. I was driving. He just kind of went to the side of the car real quick and then took off. But that was a pretty scary encounter.
Yeah, but it was.
Mm-hmm. Well, you see birds fly at you all the time. I've only hit one bird with my windshield. Now, I've hit plenty. I've heard a family of birds with my car.
Like a quail or something like that. You run them through.
Might have been pheasant. Might have been quail.
It kind of doesn't matter.
I'm not sure what it was. It was his family. It was mostly little peeps, and then the mom or the dad.
Can you just kill one animal at a time? Why does it always have to? When you had the lawnmower, it's
I
like
could not believe
the family of bunnies.
They took a hard
when
left
you
on
hit the bird, it's a family bird. Like you can't just hit one animal.
I swear to God, it looked like a poof of
cotton candy.
Yeah, pink cotton candy. When I looked in the back, it was like a cloud of pink, and I was like,
my bad.
And I had to pull all the crap out of the front of my car.
What bird hit your windshield?
I don't know what kind of bird that was, but I could see him coming. I'm like, dude, what do you do? Poof. Off the top and back. Like, you're a bird, man. Come on. Like,
you always assume that they'll move.
It's like pigeons or crows in the street.
A squirrel, I know
exactly.
A squirrel, I know he's got a chance, like to die.
No, well, because squirrels are
indecisive.
indecisive. Squirrels are like, which way do I go? Like, just pick a side and just sprint for it. Instead, they what did Ted say? Why does every squirrel act like it's their first day of being a squirrel?
Yeah, we were in a cave. We were in a cave at one point in time, and we were not that far into the cave. So there was a stream. Probably walked 20 to 30 feet, maybe 30 yards at the most, to get into a pretty open air room where you could take different routes.
Yeah.
When we were going through there, something spooked a ton of bats, probably us. Whatever the deal was.
So what do you think it was?
But, it was early enough in the morning when we got there that they all flew out the hole. And we all just stood there and froze. And not one of those bats touched us. Not one. And I'm telling you, hundreds flew out. And it wasn't that big of an opening. Not one of them touched us. That's why I cannot figure out why a bird flies into a damn windshield on a car.
Well, birds don't have sonar.
Apparently not. Yeah. But
echolocation.
Sure.
Echolocation. Close enough. Same difference.
What hit who in the face? 206-803.
Don't go over there. It's where the bats are.
Hello, Chris. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, my roommate in college, we always would go camp and fish overnight and eat what we caught, but we'd take meat sick just in case we sucked. So we go out to the Olympic Peninsula, and in preparation of this, I'm like, hey, let's get a glow-in-the-dark football. This would be really cool. In addition to the meat sticks, by the way, we bring a ton of beer. So we zonk out on fishing that afternoon, so we just keep drinking. And like, well, let's play with the football. It's been heating up in the sun all day. It's going to glow. It's glowing right now. Awesome. Well, he throws it way up in the air. I've had too much to drink. I can't see it. I have blue eyes. My eyesight's been degrading since I was probably 18. And all of a sudden, this bright, yellowish white thing out of the sky, whack, right in the face.
Did it leave any damage?
No, not long term.
All right. So you said blue eyes. Do blue eyes notoriously degrade faster than the other colors?
Yeah, because they absorb more sunlight.
Okay. Yep.
I was a genius for these days where we'd have eclipses. And I'd be like, teacher, I can see it without the paper. So that's probably part of the reason.
They're like, we know, but that's a bad idea.
Like people with blue eyes cannot, like I could walk around without shades when it's sunny out in the summer, but like if you have blue eyes, you need sunglasses.
Huh. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. What hit who in the face? 206-803-ROCK.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. If they don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm. Justice for you.
Want a little more pleasure in your life? Make 2024 your year to experience more pleasure than you thought possible. Lovers has the best adult toys, lingerie, and accessories to explore alone or together. Let our associates guide you on your pleasure journey and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until January 31st. Some exclusions apply.
I'm Glennon Doyle, author of Untamed and host of the podcast We Can Do Hard Things. On We Can Do Hard Things, my wife Abby, my sister Amanda, and I talk honestly about the hard parts of life. Join us and guests like Michelle Obama, Tracy Ellis Ross, and Brene Brown as we have refreshingly honest conversations. New episodes are out every Tuesday and Thursday, so listen to and follow We Can Do Hard Things, an Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app and everywhere you get your podcasts.
Let's be honest. Preventing pregnancy is a pain. Whether you're picking birth control up every month or running to grab Plan B, it costs too much time, money, and effort. All while your partner gets to go about their day uninterrupted. WISP is changing the game. At hellowisp.com, you can get the reproductive care you need without stepping foot in a doctor's office or waiting in line. Have birth control delivered on your schedule and get emergency contraceptive before you need it. Use code CARE, C-A-R-E, at hellowisp.com for 15% off your first order. That's hello-wisp.com and have it delivered for free.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from The Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
9.9 KISW. We return to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
39-year-old Florida woman is facing a felony battery charge for allegedly striking her 68-year-old boyfriend in the eye with a thrown avocado.
Oh.
Well, he's 68, she's 39. So he was doing okay for a while.
For a while.
So he took an avocado to the face. Police say that Carlene Biswanger and the victim have been living together in St. Pete for about a year. They've been engaged in consensual sexual intercourse, they said at the time. During the confrontation Sunday
Sunday
evening.
They point that out? You said their boyfriend-girlfriend. We just assumed.
Yes. She threw an avocado at the victim's face, causing injury to his right eye. He also allegedly threw a hanging rod, that struck the man in his arm. A portion of the incident was witnessed by a neighbor. The alleged battery occurred in an apartment complex for residents age 62 or older. Our question, what hit who in the face? 206-803-ROCK.
A couple of quick texts here. It says, I'm a 32-year-old, and on this day, I found out that blue eyes are more susceptible to sunlight. Maybe I should start wearing sunglasses. Maybe that is why my eyes are slowly getting worse. Thanks for the info, Ted, who does not have blue eyes. And regarding today's question, it says, swimming in the pool once took a face full of vomit for my 2-year-old daughter who was standing at the edge of the pool. Man, once you have kids, somehow, either they accidentally hit you in the junk, right? I had gone 30 years without taking any kind of shot down there. Once I had kids, I've taken multiple shots. Not so much now, but when they're younger, you know, the headbutt you, whatever. But the amount of things that land on your face that are very, very disturbing, which includes urine, blood,
fecal matter,
pus, poop, turds, like all of these things have hit me in the face.
But it doesn't seem to bother you too much at the time for whatever
Somehow
reason.
it bothers you less, right?
Yeah, I don't
And it doesn't make
understand
sense. Like, it's still a turd, but somehow, oh, it's my kid's turd.
It could be your significant other. You don't want to clean it up.
Oh, absolutely
You
not.
will, but it sucks.
Right.
It's your kid. You're like, buddy, you
well.
okay? Are you all right? Okay. What hit who in the face? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Elijah. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hola. So what hit who in the face?
Oh, yeah. So when I was younger, like 15, 20 years ago, I was at a buddy's house, and we were just playing on the computers in his bedroom or something. And his little brother's friend and his little brother, they come in, and they're squirting us with these little, like, handheld squirt guns.
Yeah.
And eventually I just got, like, fed up, and I chased him around the house, you know. And he ran out the front door, and they had this, like, probably 4-foot fence in their yard, and I hopped over it to, you know, get an advantage, I guess. And mid-air, he throws the gun and chucks the gun and just hits me right in the face, and it hit me in the, like, right eyebrow, and it just slit it right open. There's blood all over the place.
Does the kid feel bad?
No. It's funniest thing in the world to him.
Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds like it was full of water, too, at the time.
Yeah, it must have been because it was heavy.
I miss those. I know the super soakers of the world, but
just the little pistol.
We used to have pistols. They worked fine for us. That's all we had, but they sucked.
They sucked, but you had to get closer to engage. You know, the super soaker, my kids have hit me from like 30 feet away. I'm like, well, this isn't even fun, you know? So at least with the pistols, right, they don't always fire. They always leaked, but at least you had to get up close to each other.
I mean, we had cap guns for crying out loud. They just go pop, 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 pop.
And that's literally
well, the cap
all they
guns,
did.
right, but they made the sound. I'm just saying, those old school ones, man, they suck. Super Soaker really came into fashion when I was a kid.
Look.
We were like, thank God.
The super soaker, look, the old squirt gun does not compare to a super soaker. We understand that. But did you think they sucked at the time? Did you, already know that they sucked?
Yeah, because they were always leaking.
Always.
That little plug never stopped. And I mean, it just seemed like you used it twice and it would stop working. Mm-hmm. You know, the Super Soaker invented by a NASA guy.
Really?
Yeah. Because he was tired of watching his kids play with inferior water guns. So he started working on it in his off time.
Okay.
I'll be damned.
It killed the water balloon fight. What hit who in the face?
It did not. It did not, because now I only discovered this about 4 years ago. So it used to be, if you're going to do a water balloon fight, everyone kind of had to pre-fill their balloons and you had to set up a time. Now they have these things, man, and every summer this happens somewhere in my yard, but they have about 100, it's probably about 50 balloons deflated on one kind of cap. You screw this thing over your hose, and they can fill up all of them in about 12 seconds.
Damn.
So when they're fighting, man, I mean, like, there's water balloons everywhere. They're not as big as the ones we have, but yeah, seriously, they'll fill up like 25, 50 at a time, and it is go time.
And go to Seafair. Go out on the water. The water balloon fight is alive and thriving.
And you know what's great about it? It doesn't hurt. It's the only time where I know there's a bunch of kids at the house and no one's crying. You know, inevitably, if they go on the trampoline, someone's going to cry. If they're throwing the football, as happens to many kids, it goes through your hands, hits you in the face, somebody cried. Water balloons, never ever.
What hit who in the face? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Sean. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, guys, what's happening?
Hola.
Hola. Hey, so let me start by saying I'm a firefighter, so this, is assumed to be a pretty dangerous job.
Yes, we assume it's a dangerous job. Yes, we do.
In Pierce County, it is. Anyway, a couple summers ago, I was at the firehouse, and just coming on shift, and I went into the bathroom to do my morning business, and I opened the bathroom stall door, which is, a heavy metal stall door. The top hinge at that very moment failed, and the stall door the bottom hinge held, the top one failed. It karate chopped me right in the nose.
Oh.
The heavy metal corner of the stall door and broke my nose. So, as a firefighter, I broke my nose trying to go take a crap.
And let me ask you this. When it hit, because you don't know this is going to happen, it hits you in the nose, which always sucks. Did you poop yourself?
No, I was, luckily I had time to gather my composure, and I used the medics were there, ran me into the ER, and I got the month of July off because I couldn't work because we have to wear a respirator and stuff, so it all worked out, but it was kind of comical that's how I got injured being a firefighter.
Did you poop before you sought your medical treatment?
No, I just held it.
You got a bloody, broken nose, and you're still holding the poop. That's too much for me.
Have you ever?
I may have kind of. I think I went when I got to the ER.
Have you ever been injured in the line of duty? I mean, not that kind of duty, but
I dislocated a shoulder and I've got a few stitches.
But did something fall on you?
I fell down some stairs.
All right.
That'll happen. Where were you at in Pierce County?
Right now I'm working in Puyallup, but at Central Pierce, I work for Spanaway, Parkland, Puyallup.
All right. What percent of the calls that you guys get are actually for a fire?
It's very, very small. I mean, we get a lot of alarm systems that are malfunctioning and fire-related things, but most of it's medical.
Yeah, that was because I read about a fire once a day, and obviously the fire department will be involved in that news story, but I read about fire departments 15 times a day, and like I said, one of them is for a fire, everything else is stupid.
Yeah.
You ever get,
pretty much.
like little kids, Miles, you got your head stuck in the railings of your stairs.
Yep, I was a young kid.
Cats in the tree.
Car accidents.
Right. So when you guys still have your training, all the training, at least that they show the public, is you got your gear on, man, and you're dealing with controlled fires or climbing up ladders. But do you have any other training to deal with the dumb stuff? This guy has a padlock stuck on his penis. We got to call the fire department.
Just the ability to keep a straight face when others can't.
Okay. What's the most ridiculous situation you've come into?
Oh, my gosh. All right, so we went for a guy that had some sore genitals, I guess you could say, and we see a lot of weird things, but he decided, those sharpener things that come with your knife set?
Yeah.
He decided to put that in his
rectum,
urethra.
In his urethra?
How would that fit?
Oh my God!
Those are pretty thick.
Yeah, I don't know why, but that was kind of a weird one.
That's not kind of weird. Do they let you in on what it is you're going to see? So, you get the call, you guys are in the truck, and they say, "Hey, this man has a knife sharpener inserted in his urethra," or is it when you get there?
Oh, no, he wasn't forthcoming at first. We had to coax it out of him what he really had done. So we could tell the ER staff.
So it still wasn't in there by the time you got there?
No. He had done it several. I don't know, man. It was one of the weirder ones.
And why is it that they call you, though? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know who you call if I have a knife sharpener in my urethra, but I would not think, hey, these guys trained to put out fires. That makes sense.
Well, he was. I made him like sick and in pain, and so he called for paramedic service, which we are the fire department. So it was more of a medical aid issue. But and I asked him how far he put it in, and he goes, and he looked at me really weirdly, and he goes, well, all the way.
Well, of course, dummy.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Gotta have
Why
fun.
wouldn't you? And how long did it take you to get him to tell you the truth about what had happened?
Well, he was in so much pain, I gave him some morphine, and then after I administered the morphine, he started spilling.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Some truth serum.
Right. What hit who in the face? 206-803-ROCK.
My God, man. Hello, Joe. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. Hey, so first thing I want to tell you guys, man, I had a blast hanging out with you guys at the men's room live thing.
Oh, right on, man.
Thank you, brother.
But like Julie and I just kind of drug our way through and forced our way through to talk to you guys and stuff. So.
Oh, nice.
And a lot of people did. Don't even worry about it.
Yep. But, no, so my story is about 20 years ago, back when I was like 21, 22. I was over at my cousin's house at like a house party, you know, normal, typical thing back in the day. And everybody was doing beer bongs and stuff, and I just can't do that, you know. I'm just one of those guys. And there's some dude there. He was like the neighbor. He kept chirping at me all night, you know, like running his mouth. And finally, you know, later on in the night, I made my last drink. And then, you know, I was walking by him, and he just he stuck his finger in my drink. And that was kind of the last straw for me. So my cousin, I looked over at her, and then I got that Grinch grin. And then I just turned around, I slumped the guy, and I guess I kind of started doing the ground and pound thing, and they had to carry him outside. He was knocked out cold, and they had to carry him out and laid him on the sidewalk for a while, and he was there for a good probably hour or something before, like, we were kind of worried at first because, you know, I thought
we were or you were?
Yeah, if he's laying there for an hour, you should be worried.
Well, honestly, I was too caught in the moment where I wasn't really worried about it like everybody else was. But, you know, like, looking back, I got lucky that he was okay.
So why was he chirping at you all night? Was it someone you knew before, or this guy just decided he didn't like you?
He just didn't like. I've never met the guy before. He was one of the neighbors, and he was. I mean, you know, I'm not a small guy. I'm 6'2", but this guy was he's like 6'4" and a little bit bigger than me. You know, a guy that I didn't want to fight him at all. You know.
Well, you didn't.
Yeah.
Well, do you think?
No, he was just chirping at me all night, and I just had enough of it. You know.
Did you knock him out with the first punch?
I think so.
Okay, because you said you ground and pound him. That's where the ref pulls you off and says, "Hey, man, he's gone."
Yeah, it was kind of one of those blurry things. I don't remember all of it, and until my cousin reminded me, and then you know what I mean. I just remember punching the guy, and then I went down to the gas station and I bought another beer, and then I poured it on him as I walked by back in the house.
Wow.
And then, yeah, I was pretty pissed off, you know.
You know what I'm saying?
Had you given him the warnings?
Well, I didn't really. I just told him to leave me alone, dude. I wasn't like, you know, I'm gonna like watch your mouth or we're gonna fight. You know, I was just like, whatever, dude. Like, man, just, you know, quit bugging me. You know.
Did you talk to him after he came to?
No, I never saw him again after that. He never showed his face. Like, nobody ever saw him again. He just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, well, it's called shame.
Yeah, that's
I mean, dude, you beat his ass. You walked to the store to get a beer, and as you walked
just
by,
to dump it on him.
You poured beer on him. I mean, like, I'd be pretty embarrassed myself.
Yeah, that's not a good look. I know years ago, my buddy Leon and I, we were at a bar, same bar we always went to, but there was kind of a different crew in there. And this guy fires up, and he's saying all this racist crap, right? And it's kind of let it go, but it's now closing time at the bar. And so everyone, yes, thank you, Mike, for singing. Everyone is shuffling out. So like maybe 80 people. We're all leaving. And this guy jumps on my back. And he's hammered. So he's not doing any damage. Jumps on my back from behind me. He's got his left arm like around my neck, and he's trying to throw like these punches to my head, and I'm even smiling. And like I said, he's pissed drunk, so he's doing absolutely nothing. But everyone's like, and before I could say anything to this guy, Leon had stepped out of the bar maybe 2 minutes before me to start smoking. Leon sees us go down. I don't see Leon. My back is to him. And then there's kind of this weird thump behind me. And this guy that had been on my back goes face down on the sidewalk, right, as drunk people fall. So it's just a bag of bricks, man. And then there's like this pool of blood coming out. Leon's like, we got to go. So we did. And so I'm saying to Leon, like, what the hell, man? He goes, I saw the guy jump on your back. And according to the people that were there, Leon was on the other side of the street, ran across the street, jumped off of a car hood, not a moving car, a parked car hood, and just came down and clocked this guy, right? I mean, and just smashed him, face down, and we rolled out. So fast forward, I'd never met the guy before in my life. Fast forward to the next morning. I go into work, a little bit hungover, and I worked at a restaurant. And this guy we worked with, Stoner Bob, because he's exactly what he sounds like. It's like, dude, I heard last night you broke someone's jaw. I said, was his jaw broken? We kind of rolled. He goes, oh, yeah, man. Like, he's in the hospital wired shut. But everyone says that you did it. I looked at him. I was like, you damn right I did, man. It was not me. It was like, but everyone thought it was me. Never saw the guy again, though. But we would get, like, updates. But, yeah, they had to wire his jaw shut and all that. And when I told Leon, Leon has very basic philosophies about life. I said, man, apparently you broke that guy's jaw, man. He said, well, that's good, because the thing that got him into trouble was running his mouth.
Yeah.
Then I just saved him from himself.
Told you, the toughest thing I ever seen in high school. And this guy, Miles, you'll appreciate this. He ended up playing tight end at Marshall University.
Okay.
So he was a big man. He's still a massive dude, right? Real nice guy if you know him. Kind of sounds a little bit like Leon, right?
Yeah.
But he liked fighting. He didn't mind. You know what I mean? He was a couple years older than I was. I remember being like a sophomore or something, and me and Burris are getting all hammered. We're like, should we mix it up tonight? He's like, dude, we can go to whatever bar you want to and just kind of bust our way in. You guys can start whatever you want. I'll finish it. But we were at a party once. Geez. Oh, yeah. I mean, Mike, to this day, that's all he does is work security. I don't know what happened. Something about Laurel or Greenbelt turf. So there's these other guys. So my buddy is like, yeah, all right, we'll fight. This dude pulls out a bat, hits him across the back, and he just eats it and then takes the bat. And you've never seen fear like you see when he took...
What did that dude's face look like?
When he took that bat, it just ate... Because, I mean, this guy took a full swing, and he just ate it. Yeah, he whooped... I mean, he beat those guys bad. Now, granted, he had a bad bruise. I mean, his back was messed up for weeks.
Sure.
But just to see somebody just take that and then steal the bat.
Your problem's coming your way.
What hit who in the face? 206-803-ROCK.
Let's be honest. Preventing pregnancy is a pain. Whether you're picking birth control up every month or running to grab Plan B, it costs too much time, money, and effort. All while your partner gets to go about their day uninterrupted. Wisp is changing the game. At hellowisp.com, you can get the reproductive care you need without stepping foot in a doctor's office or waiting in line. Have birth control delivered on your schedule and get emergency contraceptive before you need it. Use code CARE, C-A-R-E, at hellowisp.com for 15% off your first order. That's hello-wisp.com and have it delivered for free.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
Want a little more pleasure in your life? Make 2024 your year to experience more pleasure than you thought possible. Lovers has the best adult toys, lingerie, and accessories to explore alone or together. Let our associates guide you on your pleasure journey and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until January 31st. Some exclusions apply.
Barking before running off into the woods. Well, when Kelly's 64 years old, she goes to see what's going on. And as the frightened dog ran back out of the woods, a bear was following close behind. She said the bear looked at me. I looked at the bear. I think we're both kind of scared of each other. Kelly confronted the bear head on, though, and when the bear stood up as tall as it could, she stood up as tall as she could. And then she punched the bear as hard as she could in the nose. The bear responded by biting Kelly's right hand, puncturing her wrist before letting go and running back to the woods. The dog was unharmed, but she punched the bear. What hit who in the face? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Matt. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitch, hola.
Hola.
It's been a long
time, gentlemen. I want to give a shout out to my wife, Joan, for telling me to call in. But years ago, around this time, Christmas time, we had a girlfriend, very tough girl, who didn't want to go to work. I won't mention her name. She didn't want to go to Toys R Us. So she said she had called in and said she got hit by a softball in the eye. And she looks and she's like, Matt, can you hit me in the eye? I was like, I can't hit you in the eye. You're a girl. Well, my buddy Red, as all redheads, a little fiery, he's like, I'll hit you in the eye. And she backs up to this wall, brick wall. And he's like, I don't want to hurt you, though. How hard do you want me to hit you? And she's like, you can't hurt me, Red. Right when she got done saying that, blam, he blipped her in the eye, cut her eye, smacked her head on the back of the brick wall, so she had a big lump on her head. It's like, well, now you got an eye and a head going to tell him.
Because she didn't want to go to work.
She didn't want to go to work, nope.
Why did she back the back of her head up to a wall?
A brick wall.
Yeah, like before you even said that, I was like, oh, she's going to split her head open.
Yeah, well, we may have been at the bar. Again, don't want to shout out any names. Maybe the Spot 2 Tavern in North Seattle. Now it's the Pinehurst Pub. Ted, you may have been there.
What kind of job did she have? You said, did she work at Toys R Us?
She was working seasonal at Toys R Us and didn't want to go in and do a midnight stocking shift.
But it's seasonal at Toys R Us. You're going to be busy, man.
I'm just wondering who plays softball in late November, early December.
Well, good softball players. Are you talking about old Two Bells in Belltown?
What's that?
You talking about the old good burger place, Two Bells?
Yeah.
Yeah, that place was awesome. But it had a lot of brick.
It did have a lot of brick.
Remember Two Bells. This was Pinehurst Pub. It's now Pinehurst Pub. It was the Spot, too.
All right.
It was called the Spot before that?
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
Well, there's a place called the Spot in Renton, too. I've been there a few times.
All right. I've been to Pinehurst.
And you lived at Belltown. You went to Two Bells before
I went to Two Bells. I even bought the shirt.
Burgers. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, these burgers are fantastic. They had good fries, too, man. So remember they had the shirts, and I'm like, I'll buy a Two Bells shirt, and I swear to God, a year later they closed.
I was in there one night, and they had to get rid of a keg.
All right.
But it was like some dark, wintry beer, like a stout,
all right,
which I don't drink a ton of. I was like, I'll help you. I puked my brains out that night.
Were they giving you a discount to help them get rid of it?
Oh, yeah. Like, the bartender kind of knew me as I lived in the neighborhood, so he wasn't. He was like, just drink them, dude. I was like, cool. Or maybe it was a porter. So I just remember, and the girl I was dating, it's like 4 a.m., and she's like, for the bedroom. I told you.
What hit who in the face? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Lance. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can.
I can hear you, Lance.
So, I'm the one that called in and told you about the pickaxe incident when I got hit in the head with a pickaxe. But I lived in Texas for 26 years, and, back in the 80s, it was lead, gasoline, and heat, nothing but violence. So, but in bars, big guys used to want to pick on me, and they used to do the, I'll give you one punch.
Why did big guys want to pick on you? What is it about you the big dudes are like, let's go mess with them?
I don't know. It was in Texas in the 80s, in the early 80s. It was just violence.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Maybe it's because I had, I was always sitting around with 2 or 3 girls and shooting pool, doing whatever, but they would always say, I'll give you the first punch, I'll take the second one. Right? And whoever gets knocked out loses, of course, but we'd always put money on it.
What a fun bar game.
It was a bar game. So I'd take the first punch. And most of these guys are pretty big. And you try to hit him in the jaw just right. I broke one jaw. But I'd always hit him just right. And I only knocked one guy out. But everybody else, I broke 3 hands on my forehead.
And this was a regular occurrence?
Well, it happened about at least half a dozen times in my life.
Well, you don't seem any slowed because of it.
Well, I mean, I got hit in the head with a pickaxe in 86 when I was 21 after that.
What part of Texas was this?
It's Fort Worth, Texas.
All right, noted.
Matter of fact, it was a hi-hat right down there in TCU area in Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth.
The only time I've ever been knocked out, and the pickaxe didn't even do it, was by 3 TCU football players.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Okay.
So,
it's a man with a thick skull that we're talking
It really
to.
is. Speaking of getting punched in the face,
but no damage, obviously.
I mean, look, I don't remember the pickaxe story, but to his credit, it sounds very cordial.
It does.
The guy comes up to you, he says, "Hey, I want to fight you. Let's bet money. You take the first punch, I get to punch you next. Whoever knocks whoever out gets the money."
Yeah, I mean, I think my response would be like, no, man, that's all right.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of the impression I got down in Austin from BSing with people.
What's that?
Like, Texas is a little looser. They want you to have a good time.
They are a little looser.
But it also struck me as the kind of place that you get out of line, one of those giant bouncers will punch you.
I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly.
California woman who punched a Southwest Airlines flight attendant in the face during a flight, breaking her teeth, has been sentenced to 15 months in federal prison. Oh boy, Viviana Quiones also was ordered by the federal judge in San Diego to pay nearly $26,000 in restitution and a $7,500 fine for the assault in May of 2021. The Southwest flight began in Sacramento and ended up in San Diego. The 29-year-old Sacramento woman is prohibited from flying for 3 years while she is on supervised release and must participate in anger management classes.
You think?
And counseling. She pled guilty to 1 count of interference with a flight crew member and attendant, admitted she punched the flight attendant in the face and head with a closed fist and grabbed her hair. Neither she nor her attorney could be reached for comment. During the flight's final descent, the attendant just asked her to buckle her seatbelt, stow her tray table, and put on her face mask properly. Instead, she began recording the flight attendant on her cell phone, pushed her, then stood up, punched the woman in the face, grabbed her hair before other passengers intervened.
You videotaped your own crime.
The plea agreement said the flight attendant suffered 3 chipped teeth, 2 of which needed crowns, along with bruises, a cut under her left eye that needed stitches as well.
I mean, come on, man. Look, the one thing about flying, we have flown internationally, we have flown domestically. I've been on puddle jumpers, I've been on big planes. When you're doing your descent, you put on your seatbelt, you fold up the tray table, put your seat up right. All the little ticky-tacky things. It's no big deal. First of all, it's no big deal. Everyone is asked to do that on any flight that they take, and they're doing it for your safety.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why they're asking you to do it.
They recommend you keep your seatbelt on during the flight anyway in case of unexpected turbulence. You could get thrown into the ceiling of the plane.
You ever take your seatbelt off? I mean, other than going to the bathroom.
I typically don't. No, I leave it on. I mean, I might
sometimes
leave it
I'll
looser, but
sometimes I might forget when I come back from the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, I understand
but
that.
I'm with you. Generally, I keep it on there, as I have been on flights before where there was no warning. There was just turbulence.
There's just turbulence. And also, inevitably, I know the sign's going to go on anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, just leave it on. It's not like it's on so tight. Man, you ever get on the plane and you can make general assessments about who sat in your seat before you based on how big or tight the seatbelt is.
Yeah.
And I've gotten on there where I'm like, maybe my daughter has just flown on this flight because she's about as wide as this can of orange soda I'm drinking. But more recently, I got on. And so I just locked it to see how much extra room. Like, this person had to be 1 step away from getting the extender. I just thought, oh my God, man.
Last flight experiences I've had, I've sat by terrible people. People who had like 4 bags on them, just seemingly. So there's 1 bag underneath the seat, so they don't have room to put their feet underneath the seat. So now they're sprawling out, and they've got another bag in between their legs, and then like their stuff is slowly creeping into my area, and I don't know, just like I just haven't had the best seat mates.
The only one that drives me crazy is, and I agree with Thrill, like, put your stuff in the overhead bin above you. But if you have a backpack, like I always take a backpack, just put it under the seat in front of you.
Right.
You don't need to put it in the overhead because people have actual carry-on luggage they need room for.
But I feel like generally the people that come on with a backpack, whatever's in the backpack, you're going to access during the flight anyway.
Right. Correct.
Right?
Mine
so
usually
the guy and
has,
open it up and go, like, dude, just put it in front of you.
Yeah.
What hit who in the face? 206-803-ROCK.
Now, like Miles, that is one time I travel with extra underwear, socks, and a pair of mesh shorts.
On a plane?
Always.
Really? Just in case you accidentally...
Or if I guess with carry-on, it's not as a big a risk, but like if I check my luggage, I've had my luggage lost or show up late.
Oh, right,
just in
right.
case.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
So you're right. That makes sense.
A, in case I poop my pants. B,
So you
in
have
case
both
I
if you need them.
Right.
Okay. What hit who in the face? 206-803-ROCK.
All right, let's be honest. Would you rather poop your pants on the plane and be able to change, right, go in the bathroom? People probably figured out what you did. Or have a perfectly normal flight, but your luggage doesn't make it.
Have a perfectly normal flight. Wait for my luggage to get there.
I agree. Yeah.
I don't want to poop myself on a plane.
I don't want to poop myself at all. Hello, Kit. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, thank you.
Hola.
All right. You hear me all right?
Yes, indeed.
All right.
Let's tell the story.
Okay.
So, no, this is happened in the mid-'90s. I want to say it was like right around 95, 96. So, Chicago, White Zombie and 9 Inch Nails put on a show. And so, long story short, I'm in the middle of a mosh pit while Trent Reznor and the rest of the band were destroying the stage. Trent was swinging his microphone. It got away from him, and I'm in the center of the pit. And it just went and flew and smacked me right in the face.
His microphone or the mic stand?
The phone.
So could you hear it over the PA? Kind of boom.
Yes. And you heard me going, oh, insert swear word there. And it was loud, too. And, it took me off guard. The other kids in the pit, they were all sitting there looking at me like, holy crap, you just got hit by Trent.
So they think it's like a badge of honor that you got smashed in the face by Trent Reznor's microphone.
Because by the time, I got my eyes focused again, and I looked up and Trent's like, oh. And then the security guards and himself, they're trying to pull the microphone back before it got ripped off the stage.
Did he apologize on stage or anything, or did he just keep on singing?
No, he just kept on doing it. And one of the security guards, came up and said he felt bad. I'm like, okay. Do I get a T-shirt or anything like that?
Right.
Like,
well, did it draw blood or open you up or anything, or did it just bap you in the head?
It drew a little cut. I mean, that microphone was pretty beat up by the time it got to my forehead. So,
That's all right, man. A guy used to play guitar with me years ago. We're on stage playing a club show, and sometimes you get tripods for your mic stand. Other times it's just that round iron bass.
Yeah.
We had the round iron basses, and in this particular song, he and the drummer kind of trade vocal duties off. And so Tony goes up to do his part, and his toe touches the end of the base of the microphone, but it tipped toward him, and I mean just smashed him directly in the mouth. And you hear the poof, and then just blood. It looked like Gene Simmons.
No.
I thought it was hysterical because I knew he wasn't like hurt. He's in pain, but he's not hurt kind of thing. He was so pissed, man. But to his credit, he sang through the rest of the song, and and people are like cheering for him because he is so bloody.
And it looked badass.
It looked bad, but Tony's not the type of dude that wants to look badass. That's nothing about who
he wants to look
is.
pretty.
He wants to look pretty, and he wants to be cool, and he wants girls to swoon over him. But he's getting all the attention from the dudes that are like, hell yeah. We finished that song, and they can't hear us on stage talking to each other. I'm like, you all right, man? He's like, man, I'm effing pissed. How bad's my face look? I'm like, well, your lips won't stop bleeding. He's like, God damn it. I'm like, got to finish the show, man. So we finished the show with his blood-crusted lips.
What hit who in the face? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Bryce. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hola.
Yeah, so I got a quick one. Probably not the best moment, but it ended up working out in the long run. So when I was, about 20 years old, I was at a house party with a bunch of friends, and, a few drinks in, just a couple, of course. I heard that one of my friends was outside getting in a fight, and there was a big circle around him. So naturally, we all kind of sprint outside to see what the hell is going on. And, a couple drinks in, you don't quite read the situation as well as you should. And there was kind of a larger guy leaning in and, arms spread out like he was about to jump into this fight. And so sprinting out, decided probably a good idea to hit that guy. So ended up just laying into him, full shoulder punch right to his nose, and broke his nose. Turns out he was a friend of the person hosting the party and was actually not getting in the fight at all. He was he was trying to help out my buddy.
Okay.
So he ended up, years later, I'm now really good friends with this guy, but at the time it was a little awkward because you go in and
a little awkward. Yeah, that's a little awkward.
You end up punching him in the face, and he's just looking at me like, "What the heck are you doing, man?"
So how much longer did it take for you guys to form a friendship? So, like, the next time you see him, is it still weird, or is it water under the bridge?
I would say probably half a dozen times of hanging out and talking to him about the situation before we just wrote it off. It's one of those drunk moments.
Okay.
All right.
How relieved were you that he got to that point?
Very relieved, because he would probably have kicked my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What's a one hit who in the face? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Aaron. Welcome to the men's room.
Hi there.
Hola.
I'm calling with a Maryland story, actually.
Okay.
Hit in the face with a blue crab.
Yeah, not about blue crabs, but we were in water. It doesn't have to do with water. I went, so I'm from Maryland.
Okay.
Go Terps. Went to go camping and whitewater rafting in Upper Gauley out in West Virginia.
All right.
And had just a killer time the first year we went. Went back the second year. Thought we were going to have a great time again. I think everybody else did, but I got the seat in the boat without a foothold. And ended up, I fall out of the boat, and then I finally got smacked in the face with a friend's paddle, and I was like, I'm done.
How bad did that hurt?
It hurt, and my face was puffed up for the rest of the trip. It was not as amazing as the first year.
Wow. Well, you got to remember, that's a very dangerous river. I know the wilderness out here is much more substantial, but when it comes to whitewater, just based on how those valleys and those gullies are, it's a much faster stream, and there's number 4s in there, there's number 5s in there.
Yeah.
If you don't know what the hell you're doing, man, you can get caught in the washing machine.
Oh, I didn't. Nope. I thought I rocked it the first year. The second year without that.
Try the Youghiogheny.
Half in and half out of the boat.
Yeah, try the
No good.
Youghiogheny River next time.
Hey, what part of Maryland are you from?
Yeah, there you go.
What part of Maryland are you from?
Oh, I'm from Pasadena.
Pasadena.
Oh, I used to live in Pasadena, hon.
Yeah.
Down there off Ritchie Highway. Get the hell out of here.
My cousin Tom still lives down there on the water with his family.
I used to live by the Big Vanilla. Big Vanilla Iraqi in the health club.
Oh, my God. And footlong subs and dairy. Yep.
Oh, yeah, right down there.
Pasadena.
Pasadena, Maryland.
How many times are you called hon a day? Yeah, hon.
What's that?
How many times you called hon a day in Pasadena? Because that was like a hun capital.
Every day. All day, every day. Yeah.
And then you talk to people with multiple personalities. I'm convinced of this in Maryland because you've been interacting with, say, a cashier or something. And they're very kind. They're very pleasant. But it's just the two of you. And somehow when you're leaving, it's like, we'll see you later. Like, there is no we.
Yous have a good one.
Yeah.
Yous?
I still say that. Have a good one.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Return of Who Sucks Less is on the way. Enter emails to the men's room at KISW.com next.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
Want a little more pleasure in your life? Make 2024 your year to experience more pleasure than you thought possible. Lovers has the best adult toys, lingerie, and accessories to explore alone or together. Let our associates guide you on your pleasure journey and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention LOVE20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until January 31st. Some exclusions apply.
I'm Glennon Doyle, author of Untamed and host of the podcast We Can Do Hard Things. On We Can Do Hard Things, my wife Abby, my sister Amanda, and I talk honestly about the hard parts of life. Join us and guests like Michelle Obama, Tracy Ellis Ross, and Brene Brown as we have refreshingly honest conversations. New episodes are out every Tuesday and Thursday, so listen to and follow We Can Do Hard Things, an Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app and everywhere you get your podcasts.
O'Reilly. Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery needs to be replaced, our professional parts people can help you find the right Superstart battery for your vehicle and budget. Don't wait. Get your battery tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Let's be honest, preventing pregnancy is a pain. Whether you're picking birth control up every month or running to grab Plan B, it costs too much time, money, and effort. All while your partner gets to go about their day uninterrupted. WISP is changing the game. At hellowisp.com, you can get the reproductive care you need without stepping foot in a doctor's office or waiting in line. Have birth control delivered on your schedule and get emergency contraceptive before you need it. Use code CARE, C-A-R-E, at hellowisp.com for 15% off your first order. That's hello-wisp.com and have it delivered for free.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. They don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm, justice for you.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Red Hot Chili Peppers and Scar Tissue. Almost as if it was a reminder. Like a reminder right there.
That's crap. Did you tell Taryn to do that?
I don't know, but look, there you go. Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Getting outside help.
Right there before 420,
Learning another name of their song.
Your chance to win tickets is right now for the show at the Gorge on May the 31st. The code word or secret word is SCAR. Ironically enough, we just played Scar Tissue.
You had outside help.
SCAR
That's crap.
is the secret word. Text that now to 206-803-ROCK, 206-803-7625.
So yesterday you went Babe Ruth and pointed, called your shot, struck out. Today, basically, they put it on a tee.
No, this was the intentional walk.
No, you're stealing signals. You were stealing signals.
They gave me a free base.
Although, if it makes you feel better, a text is here says it's 420 miles.
I had to wait for the song. I had to wait for the song to end. The song's done. Now you know the word is SCAR, and you text that to 206-803-ROCK. Okay, do we have time for a few emails from the Men's Room at KISW.com?
You've got mail.
Now I'm 2-1. Our question: what hit who in the face? Good day, guys. Back home in Illinois, during a 4th of July celebration, the town leaders had organized some friendly contests. One of those was the cow patty throw. Farmers would gather up cow patties and would set a bunch of them on sheets of plywood to dry in the sun. Mostly men threw the patties, but some of the local kids get involved. One kid steps up with the chosen patty, goes to throw it like a frisbee. Patty goes about 5 feet, takes a hard right, and smacked right into the town's church minister. Still slightly wet in the middle of the patty. And when the outside crust broke loose, the minister wiped away the wet poop from his face with his hand, then smeared it all over his face shirt and eventually wiped his hands on his jeans. The entire crowd just lost it. I'll never forget that. Thanks, guys. That from the Elk Plain Drifter. In the face. Gentlemen, 17 years ago, I started a gig at a company providing some specialized support to mobile phones for a national mobile phone company. Toward the end of training, we got to sort of play around with their devices, one of which was the Motorola Razr. Well, I asked one of my fellow trainees to toss me the razor. He just did just that, such that it got me right in the upper lip and drew blood, leaving a nice little incision going across my fulcrum. And let's see. After cleaning myself up and managing to get the bleeding stopped, everyone in the class agreed that I was probably the first human to be cut shaving with a Motorola Razr, and that I should have used better shaving cream. Liquor and Horse, guys, that from Dennis. Oh, I was 4 years old. I was on a hike with my parents. We were crossing a dry riverbed on a wooden bridge. I slipped on a wet leaf, lost hold of my dad's hand, and fell 8 feet to the riverbed below. I landed on a rock and cut my forehead, got 16 stitches, and still have a scar. Still terrified of crossing footbridges to this day. That from Iris, the bus driver, who's been through a lot.
She has been through a lot. Yes, she has.
Been through a lot. Guys, I want to wish a happy birthday as we move on to those to a good buddy of mine, Mr. C. Maitland, a.k.a. Tumbleweed, because he's always wandering around looking lost and confused. He is a very hard-working tilt carpenter. Takes a lot of grit to do that this time of the year. Happy birthday, buddy. How about your penis is too small, a little kid fish sandwich, and the dirty Germans talking about how hard concrete is. Thanks, guys. That from David.
Yeah, no matter how hard you think concrete is, tonight when you see me, I will be harder.
Yeah, it's the concrete. It's everything involved in a good sexual session. Hard stuff, wet stuff.
And I'll leave my imprint in your concrete. So that doesn't look like a hand, it's not.
A giant mixer, 3 extra dudes. Jesus. A shovel, a rake.
Guys, please wish my wife, Angelica Machita Santa Cruz Tapia, happy 40th birthday. Have the Dirty Germans tear her up. And Coach Ted talking about picking her up about her age, because now she's 40 years old.
Yeah, first of all, age means absolutely nothing. It's how many orgasms I will bring you to. It's a little thing that we do for your birthday. Also, since you have so many names, it's great that I can scream so many different things and still probably be right.
Yeah, it's like having an orgy with all these different women.
Yeah, but it's one person.
It's one woman with 5 names. Is this Juan that calls in?
Yes, it's Juan.
It's Juan's wife.
Yeah,
All right, listen.
Juan's wife, Angelica Machita Santa Cruz Tapia.
She's been through enough.
Yeah, that's what I say. You don't have to sweat turning 40. I mean, I imagine living with that crazy maniac, you probably feel like you're 50 or 60. I don't know how many kids you have. Throwing one, that's one more. So I would say enjoy it and maybe remind people like I'm only 40. But damn, Juan is aging me.
Angelica, by the way, if you had a hot sauce, Angelica Machita Santa Cruz Tapia, I'd buy that.
Yeah, I would too.
I would definitely buy your hot sauce. By name alone, I'd buy your hot sauce.
Would you go to
cover all the bases? You know,
no, I would not go somewhere and be like, excuse me, do you have any...
The Angelica Machita Santa Cruz Tapia hot sauce?
Would you go to her pizza place?
Yes.
If she went by name.
Yes.
Like, it must be good if she's throwing it out there, right?
Well, it doesn't say...
A French bistro.
Well,
and that's her name.
Angelica's Catholic, so that's
Sure.
You could go
Right,
Italian,
right.
they could go Spanish, they could go whatever.
Santa Cruz Tapia?
No, that's a little different.
Miles stopped at Angelica.
Exactly.
I'm like, all right.
Not
you're
the town
fair.
of California. Yeah. But you can buy those Santa Cruz shirts and rock them, you know?
Yeah.
Santa Cruz is awesome.
That's your name. Please give Eric a very happy 47th birthday with a bong rip. You like that? And some advice from Coach Ted on enjoying life before 50. That from his kick-ass wife, Jamie.
Yeah, she kicks ass.
Very modest.
Yeah.
You like that? You like that?
I don't know, but everybody's saying, especially Coach now, 40s are the new 20s or 30s, whatever, right?
It's the new teens.
Yeah. Look at me, I'm a kid. So, don't sweat turning 50. Man, everybody's turning 50 these days. It's the cool thing to do. But I would say this. If you've got something insane to do, skydiving, climbing a mountain, arm wrestling, a chimpanzee, do that before you turn 50.
Yeah, good luck on that.
And but also like to send a huge birthday shout out to my awesome concert buddy, ex-work wife, and all-around cool person, Christina. Guys, can you send her out with a Leroy Jenkins and some Dirty Germans, maybe an OG fish sandwich? Happy 50th from your fam in Italy, Scott and Heather.
2 Oregon fish sandwich?
Now, those are Italian names.
Leroy Jenkins.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, man.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Yeah, you know, oddly enough, Italian fam is the nickname for a sex move that I've only introduced to other people. But tonight, I will introduce it to you, and you will scream, Manza!
Yeah, since the finishing move, I call it hit some with the pesto.
All right, guys, here you go.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you, Rob. A couple extra emails here. What did you realize was a fear of yours? Sup, dudes? Hate outer space. I watched a dude going into orbit and then free falling in a spacesuit back to Earth. I cannot even watch that video. It makes me so uncomfortable. Even just pictures from the from ISIS of Earth scare me. Moon and planets don't bother me, though. Just look at Earth from space. LOL. So from the International Space Station.
Dude, I love all things space. I love everything about space. I love reading about it, hearing about it, new things going on. All of that said, the older I get, the more I think to myself, if you were to physically go up there, how do you think you'd react? I think I'd pee myself.
Out of excitement or fear?
Both of those things. The idea of going there to me is like from childhood, but then the reality as you get older, like, right, and when you stop looking at the earth and just looking to the vast void, I get the feeling that would freak me the F out.
Guys, I'm scared of two things. The first one is fire alarms. I attribute this back to elementary school when we had those fire drills. We always had them once a month. And every day until we had them, I would not sit in class, hoping that today would not be the day. Second one is a little weird. It's car washes. You know the ones where you drive your car into what looks like a garage? I'm told I liked them when I was a baby, but now I absolutely despise them. That from Paul, your loyal blind listener from Appleton, Wisconsin.
That's a lie. That email is from a dog.
P.S. On yesterday's show, you were talking about Allie Larder. You need to watch her and Beyonce in the movie Obsessed, one of the greatest female fight scenes ever.
Allie Larder's super hot, so is Beyonce. You know, if you're blind, I can understand why a car wash would freak you out. It's cool to watch visually, but if you're just hearing the sounds of things thumping your car, I can see why that would unsettle you.
Paul, why would anyone take your advice on the best scene in a movie when you can't see?
Miles, you bring up a fine point that I somehow missed, yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I'm blind, but it's the best fight scene in movie history.
I can't smell, but boy, I sure love cucumbers and the way they smell.
Right.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute. Allie Larder, that was the whipped cream girl in Varsity Blues.
Yes, it was.
Whipped cream girl. And one more. The subject.
I'm also saying, again, false. He's scared of alarms and car washes. That may be from a dog.
And one more on the getting stuck story. Guys, back in the early 90s, I was living in Bellevue in a house, and I had this huge single garage door for a double-wide garage that was attached with solid metal arms. One time, I was opening the door from inside the garage, and I could see that a hose got caught on the corner as it was going up. So I reached through through to knock the hose off. My upper arm got caught between the garage opening and the metal arm. Ooh. I mean, I couldn't move at all. I was stuck. Fortunately, after a few minutes, my neighbor across the street was leaving, and I yelled for help. She closed the door, freeing my arm. I had a huge bruise on both sides of my arm, but I felt fortunate it was not broken. Cheers, guys. That from Jim, your loyal Pasco podcaster listening in on the Odyssey app.
Now, the men's room wants to know, who sucks less?
Yay! Time for Who Sucks Less. Steve at Thrill Hill, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They all suck. It's up to us to determine out of the 3 stories which one sucks the least. Now, if you happen to follow KISW on Instagram, Facebook, and on Twitter, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Yeah, and I had 3 other stories originally picked out. Then I came in earlier this morning, and I said to Mike, we're scrapping those because they would just really, really piss you off. All right? Because as I edited them, I'm in a bad mood, and I'm like, I don't want to put people in a bad mood, at least not by accident. So I went with these 3 stories. All of them will sound familiar to you because I believe 2 of them at least have been a shot of the day, which you'll understand why. One of them, I believe, has been featured on Profile This. And there's a certain commonality to all these stories. But let us start in Arkansas, where an Arkansas cop spotted a suspicious car parked outside of a commercial storage facility. And it was suspicious because that storage facility has been broken into 16 times this year and 36 times last year. So the officer noted that the vehicle in question was seen, quote, rocking at around 12:45 a.m. So when the cop looked inside of the car, he spotted Theodore Morgan having sex with a stuffed animal. Now, Morgan, he's a divorced father of 3, lives about a mile away from the storage facility, which begs the question, why wouldn't you just go home and do this? But we didn't get an answer to that. Since Morgan is on probation, cops were able to search him and his car without the need for a warrant. And according to the arrest affidavit, that search turned up methamphetamine, a syringe, and a whole bunch of weed. Anyway, he was charged with 2 felony drug charges and misdemeanor counts of public sexual indecency, as well as possession of drug paraphernalia. Quick side note, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning in an empty parking lot. Is it public indecency? You physically have to go to him to see what he's doing. But I digress. Anyway, at his arraignment, he was put free on $5,000 bond, and he entered a plea of not guilty. But they added further details about the stuffed animal do not appear in court records, which is a shame. I just want to know what kind of animal it was. Right? People think teddy bear, but no, seriously, right? You think teddy bear, but every kind of animal that exists, there's a stuffed version of it. I just want to know where he's at. We now go to Florida, and this is a quote from the police report regarding a situation in Clearwater, Florida. Quote, the defendant was observed defecating on a deceased possum with his pants lowered and his anal region exposed. Now, that unusual and repulsive incident transpired around 5:30 p.m., as they say, in full view of the motoring public during busy traffic times. In other words, during rush hour, he's on the side of the road, pooping on a possum. Now, police allege that Rudy Wilcox, 45 years old, right? Anyway, he's observed by an officer relieving himself upon the dead marsupial as rush hour traffic passed by. Now, after being read his rights, he denied the allegations and said that the officer just can't see straight. However, as the affidavit states, quote, physical evidence, meaning a turd, was viewed at the scene, which corroborates the allegations alleged. At this point, you might be gagging, but he ended up being arrested for exposure of sexual organs, which is a misdemeanor, and booked into the county jail. So, for reasons we can't explain, this man went to the side of the road during rush hour and pooped on a dead possum. You do the math. I don't know. And then finally, a hospital security guard. He had sex with a 79-year-old woman's corpse. This, according to the Arizona cops, that alleged crime took place inside of the morgue freezer. Investigators arrested Randall Bird on multiple counts of crimes against a dead person, which is a felony. And until his recent firing, he'd worked at the Banner University Medical Center in Phoenix, where he was responsible for transporting bodies to the hospital morgue. Now, the cops say that's where he ended up abusing the corpse of an elderly woman, which had been inside of a body bag. Investigators say 2 witnesses reported spotting Bird inside the morgue freezer about 5:30 in the morning, but he was sweating profusely and, quote, acting nervously. Additionally, his zipper was wide open, his uniform was disheveled, and his belt was on top of the gurney where the bagged deceased body was placed. Now, the morgue doors had also been locked from the inside. Now, the body bag, which held the victim, had been completely unzipped open, and the corpse was face down in the victim's hospital gown, and it had been rolled up, exposing her naked body from the waist down. Now, when the witnesses entered the morgue, they told police that Bird sought to cover up the dead woman's body by pulling down her gown. Now, Bird claimed to have had a medical episode inside of the freezer and couldn't recall what happened afterwards. However, cops say the Bird's DNA was found on the corpse of the woman who had died of natural causes, and her ribs had been fractured post-mortem. Right. Anyway, a hospital spokesperson said the co-workers, quote, identified and reported concerning behavior of the employee in the hospital morgue. That prompted them to call the cops, who then did the investigation, and he was arrested.
Ted, I think this is an easy one this week. I will say the man who crapped on the dead possum, it was during rush hour traffic. And I realize this is Florida, but on the West Coast, people pooping in public and downtown and everywhere, that's not a shock to me. I mean, bus stops I'd find huge. I'm like, wow, that's a man, you really laid it down there. Between the bench, too, because it had the, the slats. Yeah, exactly. The possum was dead. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but if you're in Florida, you're probably not used to seeing that. On the West Coast, I think that's a little bit more normal. Just go down to 3rd, go to Fremont. Anytime it rains for the first time in months, my house smells like crap. Outside, anyway. So I think it's the Arkansas man who is having sex with a stuffed animal outside of a commercial storage facility, Ted.
I agree.
Wait a minute, say that again. You think the Arkansas guy sucks the least?
Yes, he was in his own car. The car was rocking, and the cop came a knocking, but ultimately he was just having sex with a stuffed animal. I don't mind the guy pooping on the dead possum. First of all, the possum is dead. It's during rush hour traffic. Everyone's seen someone crap before. It's not the biggest deal, but again, I think it's the fact that it's Florida. If it was on the West Coast, it's a normal occurrence.
You don't want to drive by, I don't know. I've seen somebody crap on the street before, but I would have a feeling if I'm sitting there with a small cousin or something.
Yeah, if I got my kids in the car, it becomes a different explanation.
Right, because then you got to explain it. So I think that's why
the guy... crazy.
You can explain to kids about pooping. They know.
About them seeing the band's penis.
God.
Jesus. The hospital security guard obviously sucks the most, but I'm with you. I guess the Arkansas guy, because he's violating the stuffed animal, and I mean, I don't know.
It's a stuffed animal, and he's in his car, and he's alone in the parking lot, is my thought. It's weird, but even though, it's weird, but it doesn't bug me. I go, all right, pooping on the possum, I would say second worst, but you go, why?
I think the stuffed animal plays a massive part in this.
How so?
Depending on the animals, I'm going to judge this guy a lot harsher.
What animal would make it better? What stuffed animal would make it worse?
How about Mickey Mouse?
Really?
I don't know.
You're okay with a Disney character. I just feel like you just go with your standard stuffed bear.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuffed.
Yeah, that's my issue. I don't want him doing it to a teddy bear.
Really?
That's just weird and awkward.
I think it's weirder if it's a character because you have some
You're
association of who you believe them to be.
It was Pluto.
Right.
Or
Well,
it's
I get that.
Goofy. Or it's
Gosh.
Bugs Bunny. Whoever the hell. Pokemon. Show of the day is coming up, and the debate continues on Who Sucks Less. If you follow KISW on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, you are listening to The Men's Room.
Did you know that most people wait 26 days to see an OBGYN? If you're dealing with a vaginal infection, herpes outbreak, or STI symptoms, you already know that's too long to wait. At HelloWisp.com, you can get a prescription in as little as 3 hours. Contact a doctor online and have the care you need delivered discreetly to your home for free in all 50 states, or sent to your local pharmacy for pickup same day. Use code HEART, HEART, on your order for 15% off, only at HelloWisp.com. That's HelloWisp.com.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
Want a little more pleasure in your life? Make 2024 your year to experience more pleasure than you thought possible. Lovers has the best adult toys, lingerie, and accessories to explore alone or together. Let our associates guide you on your pleasure journey and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until January 31st. Some exclusions apply.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Coming up in minutes, we will drink a toast with a shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check out with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Thank you, Miles. The Daily Mail published an article on the perfect male and female buttocks.
All right.
Did you ever see that article?
I didn't read the article, but I looked at what they... I mean, let's be honest, right?
Did you agree with the assessment?
For the most part. There was one I disagreed.
Based on science, wasn't it? To some degree, they came up with an equation.
They based it on science. The problem is, when it comes to being attracted to something, science goes out the window. Sure. And it's just pure personal. Like, I know what they mean. Like, yes, symmetrically.
Correct.
This would be perfect. However, there's a reason there's a lot of thumbnails at the bottom of porn.
When someone, you notice it. A guy or a girl.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter. If someone's got an ass, you're like, look at that guy's ass.
An ass that you like.
Oh, yeah. Even if I'm not really necessarily into dudes, but if a dude's got a nice ass, I can go like, dude, that guy's got a great ass.
Sometimes you think it's a chick until he turns around.
He's got one.
That happened to me once. And not only did they turn around, they had long, flowing blonde hair, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
They had a mustache and beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were teens, and me and my buddy were trailing, and we were just like, oh, God.
But you're talking about the gangster.
No.
I think more it's just, you're just surprised if a dude kind of has a butt and like thighs.
Right.
Sure.
Well, even when they broke down their chart, most guys' asses roughly look the same, right? We have more square asses, right? All the women have more ovals on the bottom, and some were bigger, some were... Yeah, but there was an ass in there that I liked, where I'm like, well, I'd have made that one number one.
picked that one.
Yeah.
A lot of butt talk on a new episode of the podcast, Mike.
Butt talk.
Out now on the Odyssey app.
Damn right.
Why don't you just call it butt talk?
We should have. We got a little fired up. A lot of fake butts in Vegas.
Oh,
really?
That does not shock me, especially when you were down there.
Interesting.
You could I explained in the podcast as my buddy informed me. You could tell the difference. On the Odyssey app.
But do you care?
Now.
Yeah, I don't. Whatever.
I don't care. Real, fake, whatever. Boobs, butts.
A new poll asked...
Personalities.
Face.
Teeth. Backstory. I know you're lying. What'd you do, 10 years in the pen?
Don't care.
I recognize those tattoos.
What's your body count for? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
A new poll asked which city in the U.S. people would prefer to live in the most and the least. So there's two different lists. The list of cities that people would want to live in the most and the list of cities that people would want to live in the least. Number one is the same on both lists.
New York City.
New York City.
My only problem with the poll is they only took the top 5 heaviest populated cities in the United States.
Sure.
Gotcha.
So, okay, I would rather live in any of those places. Houston shows up. Philadelphia shows up.
I would not rather live in East.
San Francisco shows up. Chicago, New York, the usual suspects.
Sure.
I would not pick any of those places just based on a lot of different factors.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I love New York City. I absolutely do. But if you're not a city person, it is the absolute last place on this planet that you want to live. Right?
Even if you are a city person, there's a handful of blemishes that you're going to have to look past when you live there.
There's a lot to go. But, I think for me, the difference in New York City is this. Whatever their issues are, we know it internationally.
Correct.
Other cities you go to and you discover what the problem is. For New York City, it's all out there. Because either people want to champion it or they want to poop on it, right?
Correct.
So everything comes to, literally. So they bring it up and I go,
right.
I'm all right with New York.
That's... Like, I understand where people come from when they hit us with those arguments, but at the same time, it's like every place that you live, no matter where you live, has its certain blemishes that you look past. It's just a matter of what you're okay with looking beyond.
Yeah, and it's just personal preference.
Right.
I mean, legitimately, that's all it comes down to.
Right. I feel like most major cities, whether you're downtown or whatever, there's generally a neighborhood or two you'll find that you like.
Absolutely.
They all have different vibes.
Correct. 44% of people have hung out with a friend less because they didn't like being around the person's spouse or partner.
Absolutely.
That doesn't shock me.
Absolutely.
That doesn't shock me. And how do you broach that subject? Hey, man, you want to go out and go do this thing?
You don't. Because if
your wife going to be there?
There's some couples that just don't separate.
Yep.
So you know it's a package deal every time.
Yep.
So you can't have a guy's night out. You can't. They're always going to. So to me, it's you already know. And it's fine.
And I'll admit that I am that guy. Look, my wife is my best friend, so we hang out together all the time. But I've even said, like, if it's going to be a guy's night, if you want it to be a guy's night, you just want to hang out with me, just say it.
Then it's a guy's night. But I will say this: your wife's easy.
Right.
Let me rephrase that.
That's how I got her.
Easy to get along with. Yeah, that sounded bad after I said it.
Thank you, Steve.
Then you got a cool wife, so you're like, all right.
Exactly.
No problem. Other people, not the case.
Correct.
Well, right, and that's a two-way street. If it's going to be just the fellas or whatever, people need to say that too.
Right.
Yeah.
And
you're right. That's the difference. No, this is guys' night.
Exactly. Oh, there's a reason why English is one of the hardest languages for people to learn, not just because we have several different meanings for the same word, but also sometimes we just have a hard time pronouncing words. In fact, there are people that have lived in this country their entire life that still can't pronounce some of these words. So let's have some fun.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10. 10 of the hardest to pronounce words in the English language. I've got one, so I'll spell it out for you. P-O-T-T-Y-T-R-A-I-N-I-N-G.
That'd be potty training.
They're still going.
P-Y. One of the most difficult but strangely rewarding words in the English language from moment to moment. Yes, Henry. I'm talking about you.
His new puppy that pooped and peed in the parking garage of his building.
Yes, and he and I have gone back and forth a little bit. He's a little stressed out.
You got a puppy.
It's a puppy. Potty training a puppy is not quite as open and shut as it would seem. There's no real manual for it. You just got to keep on getting after it.
Puppies, to me, are the equivalent of like a 1-year-old human being.
Yes.
Right? Full of life, excited to do everything, and they want to chew everything.
Correct.
And they will poop anywhere if that is what they need to do.
Yes.
I mean, that's the long and short of it.
I believe he told me he took Henry out, relieved himself, good to go, gets back inside immediately. Bam. Did it again.
That's what I figured out about my dog, right? So we got her as a puppy. It is what it is. Same thing. You go through all that crap. Now I realize, okay, we just have a dog that has a couple of loose screws. She is crazy. She is excited. She's happy. She's a lot of energy. But the fact that she does not poop or pee inside, I don't care. To me, that's the big, like, look, if she needs to go out, she lets me know she needs to go out. You can be as bat as crazy in the house as you need to be if you're not pooping and peeing on the floor.
Exactly.
So, game on.
Exactly.
Yeah, my buddy's dog hits the bells.
Really?
Yeah. The in-laws, same thing.
He'll just jingle the bells and it's like, all right,
time to go.
That's smart.
Hey, he's got to get outside.
But does he ever get conned?
Yes.
Every once in a while, my dog will act like she has to go. We go out. It's that she smelled a raccoon or something. It's like, dude, we're not here for the purposes that I want to be here.
Trust me, he knows what he's doing. He goes by the name of Buster.
Buster.
So you're just saying, oh, Buster. You just wanted me to walk outside with you, didn't you?
Yep. Buster. So these are some of the hardest pronounced words in the English language. I will do my best to describe the word, and we'll see how you guys do there. The last one that they have on this list here is a very common word that has been long since contested. This is a certain kind of sauce that people like to put on different
Worcestershire.
Correct. Worcestershire sauce, and Ted, you absolutely said it correctly.
Worcestershire?
Worcestershire.
I like now, some of the cooks I follow on Instagram, they just call it W. W sauce.
I agree.
Right. They've given up.
There's actually there's a TikTok cook who likes to make a bunch of different crock-pot stuff, and he calls it Wash Your Sister sauce.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah, he messes it up every time.
Wash Your Sister sauce.
But you added the R, which is correct.
Worcestershire.
Yeah, Worcestershire.
Yeah,
Worcestershire.
but there's a town in Massachusetts called Worcester, but they don't use the R. So
they don't use a lot of R's.
No, they don't. It's Worcester. It's Worcester.
Worcester.
Right. They add R to things where R isn't there, but then you go to Worcester. They're like, welcome to Worcester.
Yeah. And I don't know. To me, if you get Lee and Perrins, it's like, oh, you're fancy.
Oh, yeah.
That goes in a lot of stuff, man.
What does another word here that's hard to pronounce, apparently, for people? What does a thermometer check?
Temperature. Your temperature.
Temperature. Got to make sure to get that other R in there. Temperature.
Temperature.
Right. But we say it quick, so it is temperature. And I believe people are actually saying that, but you say temperature.
Right.
But I know you're saying it right, even though you kind of said it wrong.
Right. How do I describe this word when it's you well, it's the word specific. Apparently, the word specific is difficult for people, just because they'll. Yeah. A lot of people will mistake it with an ocean.
Yeah.
I need this one specifically.
A lot of kids do that. Spaghetti and Pacific are like the two most difficult words for children to say correctly.
That's a lot of syllables.
There's not a single kid that says spaghetti right the first time.
Ever.
Spaghetti, piscetti.
And then once you get older, it just depends on where you live and just how people talk.
Right.
And that
for sure.
Exactly. These are some of the most hard to pronounce words in the English language. It's the opposite of a city, and you end up sounding like Virginia every time you mention this type of area.
The country?
Rural.
Yeah, it's hard to say it without sounding very southern.
You got to really boomerang that R and bring it right back.
You sound rural when you say rural. That's the irony of the word.
Which I would think that nobody in a rural area would actually call it a rural area.
No, it's where they live.
Right. It's out in the country.
Yeah. Not in the cut.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, the cut.
Let's call it the sticks.
Yep.
I hate being out in the sticks.
Back country.
Or what? Bum F Egypt.
BFE, baby.
Yeah. A lot of places where you live, they drop G's on the end of words.
Oh, for sure.
Like where I grew up, where I grew up, it was like cooking. What are you cooking tonight? There's no G on the end.
When something happens frequently, it's an O word. When something happens frequently, it happens
often.
Often, correct. And that's another one where
often.
Right, often.
But I didn't say the T.
Correct.
A lot of people. Often.
And that's part of my problem with a list like this is that it's not that it's difficult to say or hard to pronounce. We just don't because we don't bother with it. At the end of the day, language is supposed to communicate what I'm thinking to you to where you understand it. Therefore, if you understand what I say often, then you get it.
I don't know anyone who says often unless they're doing a presentation.
Absolutely.
Right? Or otherwise, people, it often happens, right? But if they're doing a presentation, oftentimes, but people act different when they give a presentation.
Right.
They sound like, they sound like Siri.
They really do. You need to hit every single pronunciation.
I want to let people know that I have some level of intellect, so I will speak like Siri does by breaking up all of my words, which actually makes me sound kind of stupid.
Most hard to pronounce words in the English language. It's where we go and check out books.
The library.
The library. Right. And that's another one where I feel like it's mostly kids that have an issue with that one, and then at some point you just quit saying library and you go into library.
You do. And BR for kids is tough if it does not begin the word.
Correct.
If you put it in the middle of a word, they all suffer. The R is gone, and it is B.
Yeah, well, it's tough, too. It's like there's a lot of letters that sound certain ways and certain sounds, except on certain words.
But
and like adults struggle with it. So, when you're watching a kid try to learn how to read, it's like, geez.
But that's why English is so tough. One, most languages have about 400,000 words. English has 1 million. What's crazy about our 1 million is it's not that we're more descriptive, it's that we can take one word and make it mean multiple things. So people struggle because you can say mother effer. And initially you would teach people, okay, that's a bad thing to say. And they go, okay, we understand it. But the flip side is, if this is my mother effer, okay, well, now it's good.
Well,
right?
and conversely, just how we'll have one word mean 100 different things, we will also have 100 words that mean the same thing.
Exactly. There's a comedian who does the thing about the S-bomb, right? He's from a different country. And he just goes like, look, man, it's the most difficult word because if you're a piece of S, you're bad. If you're just the S, you're good.
The whole.
If you're ugly as S, that's bad. But if you are good looking as S, that's good. So he goes like, this one word, you guys make it mean anything. So it's about the context.
Does he also mention the different animals that come into it? Bat, bull.
Right. Bull, you're a
Dog.
liar. Bat, you're a crazy. Dog, it sucks. Right. So I mean, but that's what we do. And we understand it. It's right. Horse, you're full of it. Right. So it was just this point. He goes, man, of all the words I had to learn, the S-bomb's most difficult because you guys use it good or bad.
That is the absolute Swiss Army knife of words.
If you are the whole S, it is good. If you're just a piece of it, it's bad. So your goal is to be as many pieces of S as you can be until you're the whole S, and then you become good.
That's a good
My best one is, he goes, I have to go because I have S to do. What are you going to do? I just told you.
But then we only have one word for love.
Love.
That's right. Love.
Right.
It only needs
it's not,
one word.
right. It means like 1,000 different things. Like, well, I don't want to have a sexual relationship with the Seahawks. I can say I love
But
them.
I love the Seahawks.
Right. Usually you'd grab this. It's also known as an AED. It's the chest paddles. What do you call that thing right there?
Chest
Defibrillator.
Defibrillator.
A defibrillator.
Say it correctly.
Defibrillator.
Defibrillator. Defibrillator.
Because your heart is in fibrillation and you are now defibrillating it.
All right.
Okay, that explains a lot.
I shouldn't be that excited. That's a horrible time to have. Like,
Ted's just hitting somebody with pedals like,
you didn't say
actually
it right.
know why they
Just
call
save
it.
his life.
I don't know what you mean, man. What do I need to use?
Just call
You gotta
paddles.
use correct
Paddles.
English.
Paddles.
Just go paddles.
Somebody here says, I have Fitz saying brewery.
Brewery. That was
Yeah,
another
I
one
can
that
see
was
that.
on the list.
I'll screw up sushi sometimes.
Yep.
I think a lot you say sushi, right?
Sushi. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you were to hit Shift 8 on your keyboard, what punctuation would you bring up there?
You're asking the wrong person.
Shift 8.
The ampersand.
Ampersand?
That's 7, Ted.
Oh,
Shift 8.
A little starfish there. Also known as a asterisk. Asterisk.
Is it risk?
There is an S at the very end of the
Son
word.
of a
asterisk.
bisque. I have spent 54 years saying asterisk.
And I cringe every time you do, sir.
Oh, you knew.
Yeah, take
Freaking
that.
Eagle Scouts.
Okay, am I going to be the douchebag that every time you say
Yes.
asterisk, like, actually, it's asterisk?
If you had said it once, I would know. So you're a douchebag for not saying anything.
Okay, I've been contested on this because sometimes I correct people and I'm a douche for it. Now when I don't correct you, now I'm a douche again.
Mike, here's
Please
what you
don't
need to
correct
know.
me, Mike.
Thank
You're
you, Ted.
always going
I've
to be
long
a
since
douche.
given up on you, bud.
No matter what you do, you're going to be a douche. But at least if you can be a douche that corrects me in the right direction, that's good.
But then the number one hard to pronounce word in the English language, mostly because it was just an alphabetical order, Nemo from the movie Finding Nemo. He even had an issue with this. It's a clownfish's home in the sea. It is a sea
Urchin?
shell. Anemone.
Anemone, yeah.
See an enemy?
Sea anemone.
Anemone.
What's a sea anemone?
It's that
That's
one.
a little kind of,
It's got
kind of
little
wavy
tentacles on
thing.
it.
It's got spikes.
It looks like it's at a fish concert while it's under the ocean.
It does. And actually, there's one more that I did want to test you on here, Mr. Hill, because I know that you do like doing
Why
these.
me?
Could you please try, because these are the most hard to pronounce words in the English language. The one there at the very bottom, it actually means the act or habit of estimating something as worthless.
Okay, first of all, I have never seen this freaking word. The one
Hell
at the
no.
very bottom?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually have
Flossie Narcissin. Hold on. As a quick spelling, FLOCCINAUCINIHILIPILIFICATION. That is the word.
out, Ted.
So, hold on. Flossa Noanahilapilication.
You ready for this?
Floxinocinohilapilification.
See, it doesn't even help.
Rolls right off the tongue.
Say it again. Do it again.
Okay, it's right here.
Floxinocinohilapilification.
Right. See, even when they tell you, like, I don't know,
Why did that need a word? The act or habit of estimating something as worthless. Does that really need a doggone word? No.
Why can't it just be a stupid estimate?
Exactly. A family in Kentucky found something in their Christmas tree, and it's something that you won't see coming, Miles.
What I won't see coming in Kentucky, Mike?
I will give you the full story at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This at 206-803-ROCK.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. They don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm, justice for you.
Want a little more pleasure in your life? Make 2024 your year to experience more pleasure than you thought possible. Lovers has the best adult toys, lingerie, and accessories to explore alone or together. Let our associates guide you on your pleasure journey and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until January 31st. Some exclusions apply.
I'm Glennon Doyle, author of Untamed and host of the podcast We Can Do Hard Things. On We Can Do Hard Things, my wife Abby, my sister Amanda, and I talk honestly about the hard parts of life. Join us and guests like Michelle Obama, Tracy Ellis Ross, and Brene Brown as we have refreshingly honest conversations. New episodes are out every Tuesday and Thursday, so listen to and follow We Can Do Hard Things, an Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app and everywhere you get your podcasts.
New year, new you. Making some resolutions for the new year? Grocery Outlet has you covered. If it's eating healthier, check out our fresh produce, our fresh meat section, and our wonderful Nosh section for amazing savings. Maybe your resolution is staying on a budget. Your neighborhood Grocery Outlet is the destination to save on food, everyday items, and to find many great deals on all kinds of products. Whether it's eating better or saving more, Grocery Outlet's got you covered in 2024.
Grocery Outlet Bargain Market.
Let's be honest, preventing pregnancy is a pain. Whether you're picking birth control up every month or running to grab Plan B, it costs too much time, money, and effort, all while your partner gets to go about their day uninterrupted. Wisp is changing the game. At hellowisp.com, you can get the reproductive care you need without stepping foot in a doctor's office or waiting in line. Have birth control delivered on your schedule and get emergency contraceptive before you need it. Use code CARE, C-A-R-E, at hellowisp.com for 15% off your first order. That's hello-wisp.com and have it delivered for free.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. They don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm, justice for you.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. I see you looking at that word, trying to figure out how to say it. I don't know. The one word that I taught my daughter, it's a very long word, and she can say it to this day, Hippomonstrosacryptidaliophobia. And I told her this. It's a super long word. Do you know what that is? It's the fear of long words. So if you have Hippomonstrosacryptidaliophobia, do you tell someone that? That's all I'm saying. In the meantime, yes, it's a very easy game to play, Miles, where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people, and I'm already ahead of myself for doing shot of the day, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Well, go back to shot of the day. I just completely moved on.
No, you're fine.
That's all right. It's doing my thing.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms
I was
up,
completely
sailor.
ripped on that.
All right.
You're the toast of our shot.
Oh, I see. You were just going to
Drinking time it is. And as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Like you said the first time. And today we toast an unidentified 62-year-old woman from somewhere in Michigan. All right. So she was caught trying to shoplift last Saturday at a Walmart. No big deal. It happens all the time. The difference is she was trying to shoplift while the store was hosting its, and they have big signs, Shop with a Cop event, where about 75 officers were shopping with young children. It should be pointed out, all the cops, they're in uniform. So when you walk into this Walmart, I mean, you see 75 uniformed police officers. Anyway, a Walmart employee notified one of the cops that they saw her stealing more than $700 in merchandise. So the trooper didn't make a big scene out of it, just followed her out to her vehicle, which we should point out was parked next to all of the patrol vehicles from the officers. She pulled into Walmart, parked next to about 38 different police cars, walked into Walmart with 75 uniform officers. You're not going to believe this. She was arrested. Anyway, she was arrested and taken to jail, and not the judge. The intelligence people that choose to shoplift at the annual Shop with a Cop event. Keep in mind, they post the signs. The cops are in uniform. In fact, we've talked about this before because she's not the first person to do this. It happened last year. It happened in 2019. It happened in 2016. It happened in 2015. And it happened in 2011. All of them at Walmart's on the Shop with a Cop event with uniformed officers. So we're toasting her for a big, bold decision. They argue that maybe her theory was, if I get out of there fast enough, none of the cops can chase me because all of the cars are parked in the parking lot. Anyway, we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies.
Down the hola, bichola.
The men's room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, could you tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I'm glad you asked, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Russell. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen. How you doing this evening?
Hola. Doing great, Russell.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, my man, you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. You have a choice of one of three stories. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have Hit Me With Your Best Shot, where you guess the unconventional weapon that someone used as a weapon. And finally, Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem.
Ooh, I'm going to have to go with the weapon one.
All right, it wasn't exactly a weapon, but it was certainly used to irritate other people. The Supreme Court of Ohio, they suspended a county criminal defense attorney for 1 year with 6 months stayed for throwing things into the parking lot of the county's Crime Victim Advocacy Center. Now, the court found that J.A. Blakesley, he engaged in conduct that adversely reflects on his fitness to practice law. Now, he claimed he was not targeting anyone with his antics, but he had a habit of throwing these things from his car as he traveled down the road. Now, the court found that there was clear and convincing evidence that, quote, he chose the Haven of Hope parking lot as his drop zone to get a thrill from pranking victim advocates who he admittedly had known for years and whom he would most likely be seeing in court about 15 minutes later. Now, the Board of Professional Conduct, they recommended that the court publicly reprimand this guy. The opinion noted the primary purpose of attorney discipline is not to punish the offender, but to protect the public. The court found a greater sanction was needed to protect the public. The court stated, quote, however, the evidence in this case shows that despite societal standards of cleanliness and decorum, Blakesley failed to control his own bizarre impulses to throw things in public for unsuspecting people to find. His apparent conduct was adversely reflected on his own fitness to practice law and brought this to discredit the profession through significant media attention. Now, in one example of his behavior, surveillance video showed this guy slowing his vehicle down as he passed the Haven of Hope parking lot. Then he continued farther down the alley. He then passed several parking lots before turning around and slowly passing the Haven of Hope lot a second time. The video shows him throwing something into the lot before driving off to the courthouse at 8:30 a.m. for a pretrial hearing. Now, he's been a criminal defense attorney for more than 40 years, has no prior record of attorney discipline, but he testified that he's a Vietnam veteran. He received psychological treatment for his post-traumatic stress disorder and related to his military service, and he's a victim of child abuse. Either way, they were like, that doesn't excuse what you chose to do. So the question is, what has this dude been tossing around town targeting other attorneys? Was it bottles of pee, poop-filled Pringles cans, coffee cans full of chewed food, or gift boxes with dead mice inside? Again, bottles of pee, poop-filled Pringles cans, coffee cans full of chewed food, or gift boxes with dead mice inside.
I'm going to have to go with B.
Poop-filled Pringles cans.
Yep.
I like where your head is at.
What was the chew food in? Chewed food in?
Chewed food in coffee cans.
I don't know why. I'm going to go a box of dead mice.
A box of dead mice. Okay, box of dead mice. Whatever the answer, it's messed up.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm going to go bottles of pee there to equal it all out. Question is, what was he throwing? Bottles of pee, poop-filled Pringles cans, chewed food and coffee cans, or gift boxes with dead mice inside? We're going to find out next.
That was a tease.
Let's be honest. Preventing pregnancy is a pain. Whether you're picking birth control up every month or running to grab Plan B, it costs too much time, money, and effort. All while your partner gets to go about their day uninterrupted. WISP is changing the game. At hellowisp.com, you can get the reproductive care you need without stepping foot in a doctor's office or waiting in line. Have birth control delivered on your schedule and get emergency contraceptive before you need it. Use code CARE, C-A-R-E, at hellowisp.com for 15% off your first order. That's hello-wisp.com and have it delivered for free.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
Want a little more pleasure in your life? Make 2024 your year to experience more pleasure than you thought possible. Lovers has the best adult toys, lingerie, and accessories to explore alone or together. Let our associates guide you on your pleasure journey and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until January 31st. Some exclusions apply.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Category Hit me with your best shot on profile. This the Supreme Court of Ohio, of all places. They suspended a lawyer who was throwing things at advocates that he was opposed to. So
correct.
If he was going to trial and going against someone, he would find something to throw in their general direction based on where they worked.
That is exactly it.
He did this over 10 times. Finally,
he
got
said
busted.
it's something that
It made him laugh. He thought it was funny.
He just thought it was great. Something he always wanted to do.
So question is, what was he throwing? Bottles of pee, poop-filled Pringles cans, chewed food in coffee cans, or gift boxes with dead mice inside?
And Russell, that is the very question we posed to you. And no matter what the answer is, it's stupid. But let us start with Miles Montgomery. You went with the bottles of pee, which to me makes the most sense. Easiest to do, but not bottles of pee. Ted, you went with what I believe to be the second most reasonable, which is the gift boxes with dead mice inside.
Dead mice.
Because his idea was he wanted these things to land, and then people open it and then discover it. And Russell, you went with the dumbest one, poop-filled Pringles cans. And you're right.
Oh!
Dude would poop in Pringles cans. I want you to think about this. He would poop in Pringles cans for the express purpose of then throwing them in the parking lot of, like you said, the advocates of the people that he's trying to prosecute. And that's just as a matter of engineering, Pringles cans are kind of narrow. So this guy put a lot of thought, time, and effort into making sure that he could pinch out.
Once you pop
directly.
one off, you can't stop.
I bet you can. Meanwhile, Pringles is like, we don't condone this.
Now for all TV news, all the time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today. You got the writers. The Jimmies.
Fallon and Kimmel.
Seth Meyers. Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It's right there. The title. All these guys have talents and teams of writers help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It's up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Airbnb is offering one family a free night stay at Santa's cabin in Finland. Or as a bunch of elves put it, that's how he tricked us.
The Ted Smith.
Yeah, say it you.
Fallon.
Airbnb is offering one family a free stay at Santa's cabin in Finland. Or as a bunch of elves put it, that's how he tricked us.
30. Oh, that's poor editing on my part. Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert?
Boebert, I believe.
Right. Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert is facing tough competition in her run to re-election, and some Hollywood stars have even contributed to her opponent. But two Hollywood stars who are supporting her are Tim Burton and Michael Keaton, since she is, quote, such a big supporter of Beetlejuice.
Say Myers.
I'll say Kimmel.
Smith.
Yeah.
Damn it.
30% of Americans say they would wear a mask to reduce the risk of COVID-19, or worse, running into somebody they kind of know.
Seth Meyers.
How'd you know?
Yeah, Myers.
10% of Americans said they would wear masks in crowded places this winter to reduce the risk of COVID-19, or worse, bumping into someone they kind of know.
The genetic testing company 23andMe confirmed yesterday that hackers recently stole personal data belonging to 7 million customers. Users of the site are reported to be feeling 88% violated and 12% Irish.
Writers.
Fallon.
Seth?
Genetic testing company 23andMe confirmed yesterday that hackers recently stole personal data belonging to nearly 7 million customers. Users of the site are reported to be feeling 88% violated and 12% Irish.
They just released the trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6, and it's on track to be the most viewed YouTube video in 24 hours. You know, you've been playing for too long when your parents are like, why don't you go outside and steal some real cars?
Fallon.
Rockstar Games just released the first trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6, and it's on track to be the most viewed YouTube video in 24 hours. You know that you've been playing too much when your parents are like, oh, why don't you go outside and steal some real cars?
You know, it's funny, man.
Sit down, Mr. Beast.
My kid's a gamer, and Fortnite is his jam, and he's been asking us for like 2 years about Grand Theft Auto. I said, bro, I know you know what it is, because he watches the videos and all these kinds of things. And I said, until you hit a certain age, I'm not okay with the idea. I don't care about the Grand Theft. I don't care about all that. It's the idea that you can get out of your car and beat a hooker to death. And here's the thing. Yeah. When you brought it up to me, you didn't know what a hooker was. It's not okay.
Yeah,
that's all.
Good point.
But it's a weird conversation to have with, at that time, a 9-year-old.
But now
like,
when you get on Aurora, you can go, that's the hooker you beat up in Grand Theft Auto.
That's actually not a bad call, man. And I mean this seriously.
Yes.
You know, if we go to Lowe's over there on Aurora, and it's for a lot of prostitutes, and credit to Lowe's, man. They let them use the bathrooms and clean themselves up and all that to be like, okay, if you play Grand Theft Auto, these women who you find mildly amusing or whatever, or don't care about them one way or another, in a good way, imagine getting out of the car and just beating the piss out of them. You can't do that, man. That's actually my...
I haven't seen so many of them lately.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't been over to 99 in a sec, but
it's Christmas
like a month
time.
or two ago, they did a pretty good job of kind of cleaning it up.
There are some Christmas-themed ones out there.
You need a Ford F-250.
This kind of sad. Norman Lear, look, to his credit, they call him a TV icon that had an impact on American culture and social change.
Absolutely.
If you don't recognize his name, you would know him from All in the Family, which is, obviously groundbreaking when it debuted in 1971. Basically, It's about a bigoted blue-collar dude with a family did not align with his views. Archie Bunker was both despicable, they say, and at times lovable.
He was the original Homer Simpson. One thing about Norman Lear,
Homer's not usually too racist, though.
No, he's not particularly racist, but the idea of you're stuck in your ways and you stick to it, which is where the comedy comes in. And the one thing I read about him today, and I'm old enough where I can respect what this guy did, but they said you realize he was the first guy that took network TV out of, what do they call it? Dumb wives and dumb husbands and dumb westerns, and brought it to modern day. So you had like Gunsmoke and all that kind of thing going on. And he was the guy that really, and the networks, they had to buy into it, said, look, and they even did a disclaimer in front of All in the Family to say, we're going to tackle topics that are real, including, and at the it sounds dumb now, but at the time, women's periods, political unrest, racism and all that. But his whole disclaimer was, and it was specifically for All in the Family, that we're going to tackle issues that you relate to, but we want to do it humorously so you can see the absurdity.
Also, man's typically the voice of the family. And with All in the Family, Edith Bunker was the voice of reason. She was the patriarch. So whenever he would go off on his tangents,
right,
and she would say, "Oh, Archie," and then
Archie,
and then she would explain why he was wrong, and he agreed. And not just because that she was his wife, just because that she was right.
You got to show some realistic stuff.
Yeah. He was the first guy.
Also, he had a bunch of other hit shows that he wrote. Obviously, the spinoff, The Jeffersons.
Yep.
Like, I never watched All in the Family. I watched a lot of The Jeffersons growing up. Also, Sanford and Son.
Yep.
Good Times, One Day at a Time, Different Strokes.
Yeah. This guy, you can know who he is or who he was not. But whatever sitcom you liked on network TV, right? It could be Friends, it could be Seinfeld, it could be anything. This is the guy that opened the door for it. But at the time he did it, it was unheard of to actually address social stuff. So all these shows that now we can laugh about it and you go like, oh, it's funny. She's having menopause and hot flashes, and you can make a comedy around it, at least an episode, right? Mm-hmm. He was the first guy to let the networks go. If you do it right, you can make this funny because it's relatable to everyone.
And also some of the most iconic themes. As far as
the music to all of his shows.
Well, the only two is
do we got any of the samples of his credit? No.
The guy also lived to be 101 years old. I was saying to Michael, like, that's a hell of a life.
Yeah, it is.
You made all those shows. You had a social impact. That, obviously an impact on TV, but also outside of there. And then, like, just living to 101. Like, good on you.
And it was lucid. Although the thing I read today, it sounds weird. I don't mean this to sound bad, but they're like, well, he died in his sleep while surrounded by family. And I'm thinking, did he think he was going to die in his sleep? Because it'd be weird to me.
He took a nap.
Hey, guys, I'm going to bed. And my family just stands around the bed looking at me. Like, what do you know that I don't know, man?
I'm assuming he must have been close to the end.
I'm assuming that. But the way they wrote it, it's just like, he died in his sleep, surrounded by his family.
Dude, my buddy, his father-in-law, like a wolf, one day just was like, I got to go in the other room and took a nap. And just died.
Uncle George. My grandmother literally said, hey, and she was, quote unquote, perfectly healthy as far as doctors see it. She died of a broken heart. She was married to her husband, my grandfather, 50-some years, and he died. She waited a few months, and she goes, hey, okay, I got all my effects together. You guys are good. Yeah, I'm going to sleep. I'm not waking up.
I'm out.
And my mom said, all the family was there. I said, don't say that. And she did what she said.
It's wild, man. Let's see. I don't know. Look, I don't watch a ton of NBA. I don't know if anyone's been watching a little bit of this NBA in-season tournament.
I haven't.
Yeah. Credit to them. It's the games are a little more exciting, and it feels like playoff basketball. So, look, I know for a lot of Americans, it's kind of awkward and different.
Have an in-season tournament.
Right, but like I watch enough soccer that I'm used to having multiple competitions going on within a season. So it doesn't seem that odd to me. Like they're obviously still going to have an NBA championship, which would be most important. But I think it is good that they're showing out, playing hard.
Yeah.
I do think LeBron just being LeBron, in full disclosure, I'm Team LeBron. I like him. I think he's probably the greatest basketball player to ever live. He wants to win this just because he's done so much. I think there's pride in him being like, and I won that first in-season tournament.
Absolutely, man. Yeah.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
I'm Glennon Doyle, author of Untamed and host of the podcast We Can Do Hard Things. On We Can Do Hard Things, my wife, Abby, my sister, Amanda, and I talk honestly about the hard parts of life. Join us and guests like Michelle Obama, Tracy Ellis Ross, and Brene Brown as we have refreshingly honest conversations. New episodes are out every Tuesday and Thursday, so listen to and follow We Can Do Hard Things, an Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app and everywhere you get your podcasts.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry, with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
O'Reilly. Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery needs to be replaced, our professional parts people can help you find the right Superstart battery for your vehicle and budget. Don't wait. Get your battery tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go to Portland, where a masked man with a knife ironically ends up getting stabbed himself. Meanwhile, a woman is arrested at a shop with a cop night for trying to steal items from a shelf. We covered that. DC robbers steal man's phone, realize it's an Android. They give it back. A woman who threw food at a worker will now get to experience the same flack. And one Kentucky family Christmas has turned out to be quite the hoot. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cop.
All right, our top story. We go to Kentucky, where a family got a little bit more than they expected with their Christmas tree. We've all heard the horror stories of people bringing trees into their home this time of year, only to find an unexpected guest in their house. The most popular answer being an egg nest of praying mantis that hatch in their warmer climate. But 4 days after setting the tree up in the house and getting it all decorated up for the season, the family eventually got a call from the carpet cleaner working inside of the family's home. While plugging in equipment to do his job, the cleaner noticed something in the tree, a baby owl staring right back at him. The family was contacted and eventually came home, apprehended the bird, and released it back outside into the wild. My question is, how in the hell did they not find this owl while they were decorating the tree?
Owls are not light and they're not tiny.
Yeah.
And that's all. So the brain, whatever. I don't know. It's never happened to me, so I can't speak out.
Right. Now, that would weird me out, though. You're plugging this in, because you know that he was using at least a plug near the tree.
Yeah, of course.
All of a sudden, it's like, what up? Who's in the house? Who are you?
Give me a Tootsie Pop.
1, a 2. In other news, we go to Ohio, where justice has been served. We just talked about this a little bit earlier here. A woman was arrested following an incident at a local Chipotle, where she confronted an employee about the unsatisfactory appearance of her burrito bowl and ultimately threw the bowl into the employee's face before storming off. After witnesses took down her license plate, the woman was arrested and went to court on an assault charge that would have ended with a substantial fine and jail time, but the judge had a different idea. He agreed to lessen her sentence if she agreed to work at a fast food restaurant for 2 months, putting in 20 hours a week, and she agreed. This seemed to be an accepted form of punishment from the victim and the company as well, hoping for at least something more than a slap on the wrist.
But I think she should have to work the counter, not the kitchen.
Oh, 100%.
And you realize, if anybody finds out where she's working, she's getting something in the face.
You're darn straight she is.
And keep in mind, she hit the manager, who's an adult, in the face with the burrito bowl. But the manager only came over because initially she was berating a 17-year-old.
Right.
As an adult.
What's wrong with
you? If they didn't try to mug you, you take a different tack.
Right.
I'm sorry.
And I'm sorry, if you berate somebody just because they are younger than you and then they are in their professional setting, and so they honestly, for fear of losing their job, cannot defend themselves.
Can't say anything.
You're a doggone coward.
You are.
Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt, that's exactly what it is.
To D.C., where robbers can be choosers, apparently. A man had just gotten home and parked his car when he was approached by a pair of masked men. This is not funny, but I can't help but chuckle. They demanded everything that he had on him, his wallet, phone, keys, and eventually took off with the man's truck. Now, while that's not a situation that we care to celebrate or make light of, we couldn't help but notice one detail of the robbery. Well, getting everything that he had on him, they grabbed his phone, took a look at it, and then gave it back to the man because it was an Android and they were hoping for an iPhone. They're still trying to track down the criminals.
That's wild.
Okay, cool. Thank you, guys. I'll call the cops on this.
Hey, Jesus. I got it. Oh, no. Speaking of stealing, we go to Michigan where one woman is not good at it. She had gone to a local Walmart, loaded up a cart with merchandise, and made her escape with a nice haul of over $700 worth of stuff. But sadly, as she got to her car, she was met by an officer of the law that busted her in her endeavor. But the reason why that she's making the headlines is because there was an event going on at the Walmart called Shop with a Cop, in which officers take children on a Walmart Christmas shopping spree.
And keep in mind, it's not subtle.
No.
Or signs. The cops are in uniform. There's like 40 police cars parked outside. Like I said, and we said this earlier, Mike, just wait a day.
Right.
Ooh, this is... Okay. I didn't plan on spending money. I planned on stealing. Fine. Wait until they're not there. Right. And that's why I firmly believe there should be an additional $500 charge for being stupid.
Exactly. Just for the inconvenience of you actually making us do this.
Right. This is the day. This is the day you chose to do all right, $500 because you're stupid.
You're bad at what you do. Brilliant.
I mean, I'm assuming she just must rob that place all the time.
I mean, but again, on that day, she is. Wait a day.
Exactly. Men's Room Sports, we do have a little bit of NHL hockey over on TNT. Carolina at Edmonton is probably the game that you're going to be catching later on tonight. There is some NBA basketball going on ESPN and Root Sports. The Trailblazers are taking on Golden State in California. And then you got some college men's basketball over on CBS Sports, FS1, and the Pac-12 Network. And that is it for your headlines with that. Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the Head Chef and Ted's Meat and Potatoes. And once again, we'll play the game known as Big Dummy. The lovely Taryn Daly's up next. More Chili Peppers tickets on the way.
Yes, indeed. Maybe at 420, maybe not. We'll see. In the meantime, we be all about this bitch for 180 seconds or so. So until then, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
Been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. If they don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm. Justice for you.
Want a little more pleasure in your life? Make 2024 your year to experience more pleasure than you thought possible. Lovers has the best adult toys, lingerie, and accessories to explore alone or together. Let our associates guide you on your pleasure journey and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until January 31st. Some exclusions apply.
I'm Glennon Doyle, author of Untamed and host of the podcast We Can Do Hard Things. On We Can Do Hard Things, my wife Abby, my sister Amanda, and I talk honestly about the hard parts of life. Join us and guests like Michelle Obama, Tracy Ellis Ross, and Brene Brown as we have refreshingly honest conversations. New episodes are out every Tuesday and Thursday, so listen to and follow We Can Do Hard Things, an Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app and everywhere you get your podcasts.